Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we got another podcast for y'all. That was with Steppenwolf, a new guest, Bugs Gaming, and of course we had Tom back on. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right in. Yeah. All right. Hey guys, Egna here again, and we're here for another podcast. We got some old returning guests. Welcome, Steppenwolf and Tom, and then we got a new guest, which I'll be giving a shout out in description down below. He's also a YouTuber. That's Bugs Gaming. Before we get into all that, usual shenanigans. This video is sponsored by AppCoins. We're using my code EGNATA. You can get anywhere from 5 to 65% off all in-game purchases. Great way to save a little bit of money. I won't keep talking about it. It's going to be down in the description down below. There'll be links to the Discord and everything else like that. Let's get right into the fun. We were just already in a good conversation talking about the game and alliances and difference in alliances. Before we do that, I'll let everybody introduce themselves. Bugs, since you're new, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is Bug with Bug Gaming, and really happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, man. Tom, Steppen.
This is Steppenwolf of Alp, also Snoopy sometimes, newly R5 of my little tiny alliance. So here I am.
Hey, it's Tom. Happy to be here as always for another podcast. Who knows what we're gonna talk about? All kinds
Everything
of
in the
weird
kitchen
stuff,
sink.
probably. Yep.
We were waiting on Bugs to come on in. We were talking about conspiracies and all kinds of shit. But we were just in the topic about alliances, and when you're merging, well, not emerging, but when you're like getting people back and you know filling up your alliance and stuff, where there's always seems to be problems where um, people don't want to assimilate; they always want to push their way. Uh, I haven't found a correction for that other than just putting my foot down, but uh, I think Seppin was about to say something before I kind of cut him off before Bugs came in.
Well, what I was talking about was it starts from a situation that was on the 701 team, which where a player who is not incorrect in his complaints about how they were doing rallies, but where he's wrong is that he doesn't understand or wasn't willing to understand that the team that this is just not going to care about that. They're more into socializing. They have fun. They know what they're doing when they want to know what they're doing, but there's a lot of times they're just not going to go chastising people. And
Right.
there are a lot of different types of alliances. I've played on all sorts, from the most aggressive like TAW down to what I'm on now, which is a very laid back team. And I as the leader am leading a team that I cannot push hard in the direction that I would immediately most like us to go, because they are laid back and they are used to the way it was. So I have to take a slower, methodical approach of building and improving the team. And I don't think the team will ever be exactly what I would like, but part of the reason I'm doing this is because this is the team I always go back to in between the big teams I play on.
Right.
And
Well,
I want to make sure it survives. That's it. I'm trying to make sure they survive.
right. Well, and there's many ways to skin a cat, and we kind of had the same problem the other day. We had a large influx of French players that we took into our alliance, and they had this way of, like, on buildings or whatever, they'd set rallies with one ant, and then so everybody gets a hit in. It was a fucking mess. We tried it for one day. We tried it. It was a mess. Everybody was fighting. There was just problems. It was argued about and everything. I'm like, okay, try my way for one day. Just try it. And they did. And they're like, oh, this makes more sense. And with our way is we set one more rally lead than there's people online, and we just full send for buildings that are 5+. So for the buildings that are 5-, anybody that's in the top 10 reputation cannot hit it until it's at durability. So everybody gets a hit in, everybody gets the rewards. It's just a simpler way of doing it. So, I mean, that's part of the difficulty with when people are so set in like, oh, it has to be my way. A lot of times they're not willing to try a different way.
Yeah, I think
use the
it's hard for people to evolve and change just in general. People like the way things are, and change is hard. And if you're
Right.
new to the alliance, it's easier for you because you're not used to the old way as much. But to speak to that, system that people used to do where they would hit with one ant, that was fixed. The reason behind that, or the premise behind that, has been fixed so that people no longer really have to do that, I think.
Right, because
Um,
durability, you take less durability per hit and everything else. So it's, I mean, each building is going to take at least, if you got 40 people on or whatever, it's going to take you 10, 15 minutes, no matter what.
yeah, so you still get, a good amount of points, regardless of whether you hit once or you hit a bunch. I think that was changed this season specifically.
Well, I mean, I've noticed it for probably the last couple seasons. But I mean, we've kind of bounced around as far as what islands we were actually doing. So that might be a part of it.
True, yeah. Like I've bounced around too. Like I did Surreal Wetlands last season. Now I'm in Barren Lands.
Right. Yeah, we did a normal island, and then now we're doing the fucking botland.
Oh boy.
Actually, it's not that bad. And actually, I'm glad that they made the changes that they did as far as the supply. Because before we didn't play it since the beta. In beta, it was fucking terrible, dude. You'd spend 48 hours straight fighting the fucking bots before you can get rid of the supply. But now they make it so the bots rush you harder, but the supply goes down so much faster. It'll be like an hour of nonstop fighting, and yes, you're going to use the same amount of stamina. It's going to hurt, but then that's it. Then they're done. So I actually like the event now.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, but going back to like your original like topic in terms of the different types of alliances, I would say you could almost break them into categories, right? Like highly competitive and somewhat spendy, if you want to call it
Right.
that. And then your mid-level alliances that are not super competitive, but they play the game very well. They know the game very well. They're just there to have fun. They're not going to be the bigger spenders. They're not going to buy fungi. They're not going to buy stamina. And then I don't know what's below that, but there's got to be a category below that where,
Casual, just straight casual.
yeah, just there for the rewards and like they don't give a shit about anything else.
Right.
Are we
I
allowed
think there's
to swear on this, by the way?
Dude, I'm a Marine. I'm going to swear like a fucking sailor. So yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure before I kept talking like normal.
No, you're good, man. We go anywhere and everywhere. You can say whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter.
Love it, love it.
I think there's a mixed style of team that is part laid back socializers, and yes, they do want to win, but it's only going to happen under certain circumstances. They're just not going to go out of their way to be aggressive.
Right.
Yeah,
So like with my alliance, we get that we're like a big family. My alliance, we are competitive. We do want to win, but we've kind of nailed down that socializing aspect too, because we know each other. We got each other's fucking phone numbers. We talk to each other. We have that social aspect. But there's like we got an on-off switch. It's go time. socialize time. Go time, socialize time. And but it's also nice because we have it like we get real life. You got a job, you got shit that comes up. Let us know. You're good. You got to take a couple days away. We get it. We're fine. It's not as stringent, I guess, on that factor. It's more of a if you're there, help out.
Cool. Yeah. It's you got to respect life happens, family's important, that kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
Tom,
You're silent over there. Yeah, come on,
I'm
man.
just listening. Yeah, I agree with everything. I mean, for the most part, I agree with everything. I mean, when it comes down to activity, especially with like how people want to win, there's always going to be that group that wants to win, and it's usually the spenders, people who are dropping cash. They want to win, which makes sense. And then you have the casual that wants to win, and then the people that don't even know they're on the event. Um,
They're pulling a Joe
but
Biden.
but I mean, yeah, basically, it's gonna come down to those people that are spenders. That's especially in fighting. That's what's gonna do your biggest chunk. That top 10 people most of the time.
you you know what? I would actually disagree with that because I have lost my ass to alliances that are just filled to the brim with dolphins and free play. They're showing up 80, 90 in mass when we got like 40 and they're just ripping us apart. So
Yeah, I've
it,
never
it,
had
it
that.
depends.
So I mean, I've never seen activity like that on an event. Well,
Mm,
I was against
I
Dope
have.
once, but I mean, that's not fair. So I mean, he had no chance.
right.
But for my events, at least, it's going to be that top 10. Like I can go look at my last event I was on for fighting and whatever. I
That's funny.
think
I
it
was just
was
sorry. Go ahead.
well,
I,
I think it was like the top 10 people had half the defeats or something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have spenders that are also going to have varying levels of activity too, and competitiveness, right? So you
Mm.
can have top spenders, but you can also have categories within the top spenders. You're going to have people that are like going to call off work to, you know, fight, and they're not going to back down for anything. And I was just talking with someone before I jumped on here about a fight with Blue Ant and Da 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 that happened for like 3 days over one tower. And the only reason that I think Ta was the alliance Blue Ant was in, if I'm not mistaken, the only reason they won was because, Blue Ant was just so and someone else that Blue Ant was playing with that's a big player was so relentless in, fighting. Da 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 just gave up and they won.
I think it
Because
also comes down to the fact that they've been spending all this time trying to catch up to him. And now you have your chance to maybe beat him, It's that I think that falls in as well.
oh, definitely, yeah, chasing the tiger effect.
Oh,
Bug, do you
literally,
know how
yeah.
far back this event was? Because I was with TAW for the first server one surreal wetland.
Well, and Blue Ant
Yeah, I'm not.
isn't even the old Blue Ant.
Oh, is there a
There's been a
new
few
blue
blue
ant?
ants.
Okay.
No. Blue Ant sold her account a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Allegedly.
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 It's like with Robot's account, allegedly. It's
Right.
someone
It's all
else's now.
alleged. It's all alleged.
Don't want to
Yeah.
say who, but I have a good idea.
Right.
Well, I
Someone got
witnessed a lot of the
defensive. I'm
same.
just saying.
They were they were very relentless. Yes.
TAW's always been like that. I mean, it's
And
kind of dying down a bit now, but they've always been hyper competitive.
and Doak was dealing with activity problems, I believe, just compared
Hmm.
to TAW. They don't really have that activity, which I mean makes sense. TAW is basically everyone that has a name in Group 2 is gonna go there.
Right.
that wants
Okay.
to be a part of a winning alliance, like a big alliance, which I mean, I
See,
don't like
for
those
me,
alliances.
yeah, for me, that's too much of a headache. I like where I'm at now, where I have an alliance that I know that they can handle stuff alone. We are competitive, but we're not, you know, crazy about crap. We have a laid back aspect of it. Yes, we're going to try to win, and yeah, we probably have a good chance of winning, but we're not going to beat
It's not
ourselves
the
up
end of the
about it.
world.
Yeah.
The problem I had with playing with TAW, whatever, was they never put on the calendar. They never tell you ahead of time what they're doing. Unless you're an R4, you don't know what's going on until
Right.
it happens. And the excuse was because they didn't want anyone to know their tactics. But my idea is that the top leadership, wanted to keep their influence points.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So,
that's a possibility. I mean, so there's a lot of alliances that like we had a fight about this in with the new people too, where a lot of alliances will like mark out their towers that they're going to do and stuff like that. We don't do that. So every night before I go to bed, I mark what buildings we're going to be going to the next day, but I do not mark towers. But I have a specific reason for that. So it was about a year ago. Um, I used to mark out all of the towers, every single one of them. So it was really easy for the R4, etc. I had a situation to where I couldn't be in the game for 3 weeks, and my R4s didn't know what the fuck to do. So then I was like, okay, I need to teach you guys. I am going to show you what building, but you have to figure out your path. I'll tell you if it was
Hmm.
wrong or correct,
Yeah.
and I'll help you fix your mistakes. So that's my reason for why I don't mark out all the towers and stuff, but everybody knows what buildings we're doing that day.
Yeah, I would say I will have to admit I am a little obsessed with the game, and I fit in with the recruitment message of TBC, which is we have the commitment level of like phone
Let me pull
open
it up.
phone
I
open
remember
during
seeing
dinner.
it.
Yeah, phone open during dinner to when we're at war type of thing. Like that's how I'm just so like ultra competitive in everything that I do, and it transfers into the game. And that's how I got to like 20,000 plus honor in 2.5 days and made a video about it. And everybody was like, what the hell? Really?
Yeah.
And my honor's higher than da's, even though he could take level like 9 nodes or 10 nodes from day one, and I was taking eights. And
Right.
everything is highly uh, specialized in terms of like who does what in the alliance. You have one person who specifically carries out one particular task, like building, another particular task, like um I don't want to give too much away, but everything is delegated,
It's
and it
compartmentalized.
it's such a well-oiled machine. It's really kind of cool. I've never seen it work so well, where everyone does their part, almost like a real job where everybody does their job and shit runs.
Right.
Like it's working. And
So
I'm happy to finally be with people that are also. I love people who buy fungi. Like I'm like, dude, yes, you want to like fight more than you can. Like we want to push the limits. Like let's do this. Like you know. So that's where I'm at right now, anyways. And that could change. Like Step was saying, maybe in between seasons I might jump back to a more low key alliance, because I'm like, all right, I just want to be a big fish in a small pond and have a chill season or whatever. But yeah, I've been enjoying it so far.
What
Well,
server? Where are you, Buck?
So right now we're on 744. They just kind of migrated there, and I just
They move all the time.
kind of
I know
fell right in.
So
They've
my
been in a
peer
lot of different
still
servers.
is on 701. I could get to your server, couldn't I? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again. If you were on server 7, oh
I
yeah,
have
701. Yeah, yeah.
I have an extra hill that I play. I've kind of been beefing it up a little bit more, not a whole lot, but yeah, I like playing. I like the team I'm on for my situation with what I have going on being leader of this team. But yeah, I'm always, sometimes if I'm laid back on my main game, I'm looking for a place to go play more on the other hill. Definitely. I'm also obsessed with the game.
Well,
The
now we're playing matchmaker in the podcast.
well, you
I mean,
I'm always looking for that next possible. I say, I have the dance card. Okay,
What's a dance card?
Okay, see
He
here,
likes to
I'm
move.
showing my age. All right. Okay. Back in the day, I'm 63. Back in the day, you go to a dance, social function dance, old-fashioned dancing, and you would have this card that you would have there'd be so many dances you could do, and you would have a dance card where you would mark who you're going to be dancing with each different song.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's a dance card. Yeah.
hmm
I'm
Now
just
repeat
showing my age.
now repeat that sentence where you threw it in there, and I'll understand what you were saying.
Oh, I keep a dance card for where I'm going in the game. Sometimes I have a list. People will ask me, will you come play with us? And I'll say, okay, let me write that down. And
I'll be there in 3 events. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I usually get there.
I
I
get
yeah.
that. That makes sense.
Now you just got to come play with us.
See, I have another team to put on my dance card.
I'm
I'm
really
gonna start making dance cards now.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking they're gonna merge
Well-
group 1 and 2. That's the next
I
thing
hope
think
they
they're
do,
gonna
man.
Well,
I
look at
fucking hope they
look how they changed all the group orders. Group 3 is larger than group 2, right?
Right.
Oh no, it's 50 smaller, but it's almost the same size now. But I mean, it makes sense
But I
at
mean,
this point.
group one and group 2 are fucking dying out, man. We need a merge.
I want
Oh,
two
big time.
group 850 so I can move my hill up to the 700s.
Yeah,
Got to bring that dance
Yeah.
card. Come on over to Ash.
Yeah.
because I got a bunch of places
Oh,
I'd
you're
love
the
to go
top of the
visit.
dance card right now, actually.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're on top. You're the next move I make is Ash
Nice.
for my main hill.
Mhm.
I mean, right now for the ants, group 1, you can look through this the migration, the CSC, and you'll go 10 servers in a row. Not a single alliance is open.
Mhm.
Or it's an alliance with 30 people that are just trying to barely get enough to go to an event.
Mhm.
It's
There-
just, I
there-
mean,
That's how it's getting to be with group 2. Like there'll be like my server, and maybe 15 to 20 other servers that can even open CSC.
mm,
Everybody else is on these individual servers.
yeah,
Well,
I
you guys
mean,
really have to
456 is
submit
my
your
fault.
you really have to submit your like grievances on that to the world suggestions on
Oh no, I get
like
muted every time I talk in official.
just they do if people complain if a lot of people are complaining about the same thing, they make changes. Like I've seen it. They made
well,
changes about surreal
we
wetland
tried
like one
we tried to
season
get
after the
white crystal fixed, right? Like getting the text
Mhm.
fixed or changed. They started just sending out, "Oh, we'll look into it."
Mhm.
What
Immediately,
was
like
wrong with
within
it?
10 seconds. It's just not stated correctly, and we wanted it changed to be stated correctly.
Huh.
either you change the text or you change how the ant works. Either way, fix your shit. I mean, you're lying about it.
What was
But it got
incorrect?
to the
Used it.
well, it said it's silenced ants or something when it doesn't. It
Oh,
just I know Egne, he knows what it actually does. He's
it,
a
it
lot
it
better
does.
at it than me.
Yeah, it doesn't silence. We actually don't have really a stated word for it, I guess. But it essentially it drops. It doesn't silence, but it drops the skill damage down by 35%.
So it's not a true silence. They just
Correct.
kind of.
But what it says is with a 50% chance to silence them, disabling their combat skills for 1 round.
Right,
But it
which it does
doesn't do
not
that.
do. No.
I have a question.
So
Well, how many people are writing in on that? Like,
a
you
lot.
know what I mean?
I did it on the Umbra's Discord. I'm pretty sure they got a couple dozen maybe. I mean, I got a lot of screenshots from people. It got
Yeah,
to the point where they were just saying, "We'll look into it. We'll look into it." And then I kept pestering them, and they said, "Well, I want you to prove it. Let us get into your account." And I
Mhm.
went,
yeah, and
well,
unfortunately, Bugs, I can't make a suggestion because they'll do the exact opposite. I used to be a lead in the official, and I'm not going to get into all that because I don't want to be shit talking people. But yeah,
Thank you.
I'm an issue. I'm an issue for him.
Yeah, I was told.
Well, I'm just saying for everybody listening, if you guys want to, talk to Tom more about how the white crystal doesn't really do what it says it does, and you complain about it because you're a guardian main and you really want it to work well for you, that's the only avenue you can get anything changed, right?
Correct.
And you could say something on live stage too. They might just also then tell you, okay, we'll go ahead and tell world suggestion, so I find it funny though that you mentioned something about the white crystal, and then they go, oh, we're gonna change the Cremagastra and Flata.
Right.
we're gonna buff Bison again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Well, and I
I
don't even
really need
really
a
get.
Bison, bro.
I don't get what they're trying to. I mean, there's only one overpowered skill on the CI that is
So
questionable.
I think what they are gonna do is, because some people are running it with PN in the back
Right.
and dealing like 800 something crazy percent. So they're going to quote optimize it by making it only work with with shooter ants.
Which that's understandable.
Yeah.
Right. Which should have been
I
done in
can
the
agree with
first
that.
place.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when Proeta came out. Proeta was universal
Mm-hmm.
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
For like a week or two, it
Yep.
was universal. You could use it with shooters, carriers, guards, and then they fixed it.
Yep.
Oh wow.
They did the
Yeah,
same thing with
it was
Banshee
great.
Panda way back in the day.
Yep. Banshee
Panda was
that
the
was the
shit back in
first.
the day.
It was completely broken. Everyone bought a
Oh yeah.
Panda, bought multiple. I have like 3 dupes of Panda sitting around.
It
I
took them like a
remember
year
wanting,
to fix that. It took them a
Yep.
year to fix that.
like when you
I
first
lo-
start playing the game, you just love the way that ant. You're just like, oh, that's such a cool looking ant. I want one.
I don't
Uh-huh.
like how they changed the photo, the texture. It used to be so like had that big fat head, and now it's I don't know. It doesn't look the same. I'm used to how it looked.
Yeah, it looked fluffy and cute.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like some mangy looking ant or something. It's
I
missing
have to
hair.
say, that I think that we can get together, and if enough people complain that they might do something. I love playing the game. I don't want to get on Star Union's bad side. However,
I
when they
already
were
am.
looking, I wish I had
It's not so
known
bad over
what
on the
they
dark
were.
side.
When they were looking for money to get the game going, I wish I had been there, because I could have gotten people together to put the money up so this game could have
I
been
mean,
owned in the US.
I've made my videos talking about their business practices, and they've never really said anything or done anything. I mean, it's all fair criticism at the end of the day. Just with, like, obviously they're a corporation, they have money hungry practices. Every single corporation does. Let's be real about it.
Of course, you that's how you make a business. You have to.
Yeah, and I'm gonna point it out because I'm the consumer. I mean, and people
Right.
agree. Um, but back to like ants and broken stuff. They're fixing what, deadleaf mantis? Whatever they said, sometimes it doesn't work, which means it's never
Yes.
really worked. That's usually their wording.
Correct.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
it's
been
gonna
that.
work
It's been that
finally.
way. Yeah. It's
And
been that way since the release.
so
I
they're
mean,
gonna,
it's still a great insect. That's the
Oh,
crazy
it's
thing.
amazing.
It's still a
I
great.
hit 2 billion
yeah.
damage for Pango yesterday with it.
Yeah. I do a little over 4.
Okay, you're a
But
whale. I don't want to talk about it.
but yeah, no, it's a great. It's still a great insect. But yes, there is stated things on it that do not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been kind of pissed about it if I paid full price for it, and then it just doesn't work. That's kind of, and
Am I
to
the
me
only
at least.
carrier main here?
Say what
Are
now?
you the only what?
Am I the
Carrier
only
main.
carrier main here?
You are not. I am a carrier main as well.
Ugh.
Ah, another carrier main. Power to the carriers.
I'm a shooter and guardian main.
Yes.
I've
It's
been
a good
guards since the
good
first island,
combo. Wow.
and I was
Yeah.
guards before anything good was out.
Mhm.
Running guard general and what was it? Guard general, GT, Mimic Master, I think, and it worked. That's the thing. People said, "Oh, that's a shit march. That ain't gonna work," and then I'd
It
beat
is
them.
now. It is
Oh,
now.
it's now. It
Fucking
sucks now.
yeah. That
I
really
mean,
changed when Banshee Panda came out. It was good up till Banshee Panda came out, and with how
yep.
broken Banshee Panda was, then it went to shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, what else? I always stuck with guards because everyone liked shooters. So I mean, counter the shooters. Why not?
Yeah, well, the thing with shooters is, and that's why I like I said, I main shooters and guards, because I don't want to spend all the time. And the thing with shooters is, if you're wanting to spend less but still be just as strong, shooters is the way to go. It's good
Yeah.
for PvE. It's good for combat. It's so much cheaper than trying to manage
Yeah,
in guardians
every
or
single
carriers.
pay to win shooter is normally pretty great for PvE. It works
Hmm.
both.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah.
absolutely.
And then, I mean, if you're gonna spend and buy something, it should probably be a mantis for an insect. That's usually what I've seen the best way to go. That's usually what people do, at least.
So
I'm using
I
the ghost
disagree
right.
with that. I have the dead leaf mantis. That's what I use in my pro. But I actually disagree with focusing on buying an insect before your ants. You need your ant composition before your insect.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I guess, the money to spend and buy a bunch of ants, I would, but I'm happy with my ants. I mean, I'm beating people with iron, elephant, and black knight, so I don't need to buy any guard ants,
Hmm.
I guess. I mean,
The
there's no
main
real
reason
point.
the main reason I went carrier had to do with the speed of the movement of the carrier.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
That
They
was
are
the
fast walkers.
yeah. It was about the type of hill fighting that I was taught to do in the beginning of the game, which was what Jack called the two-step tango. So the goal is really to get the other person to set in front of the hill, get the other person to try and hit you first, and then you just start moving behind them real quick. And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not something we do in the game anymore.
Well, there's no room
Yeah.
for it anymore.
No,
I mean, hill fights aren't a thing. It's that
You
Yeah.
still get the towers faster though.
that's
yeah.
true.
I mean,
But
I'm on this
you
new
don't get the
event.
buildings. You don't get the buildings faster. The time's all the same. So it kind of, I mean, it will help you like in Warzone Expedition when when you're fighting other servers and stuff because you can get to the squirters faster. But frankly, as far as the speed factor for the benefit of carriers anymore is no longer about the actual march speed. It's more about their health is really the big key with that. And they've beefed them up quite a bit. I mean, that's my opinion, at least. Is just the overall health of them is more of a factor than health and combat speed is more of the appeal of carriers nowadays rather than the march speed. But at the same time, carriers are great for putting all carriers in and fucking going bug hunting, doing the auto hunt. Get them all done real quick or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at these new servers, right? And a lot of these people, they're big spenders, but they have no defeat, no like soldier kills. Like they can
Right.
have 20, 30 billion defeats, but 2 billion soldier kill, 2 million, I mean, soldier kills. And it's like,
Yeah.
you're sitting in towers. That's all the game's ever allowed you to do.
Yeah. There's no the game has so many events going on anymore. There's really no
There's no
point to
point.
fight in server. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have
Which is a shame.
200 million, I think, or something. I'm
Mhm.
close to 200. I know that. That's just from how it was on old servers. That's all you did. You had nothing else to do.
Right. I don't even know what I have. I should go check that. Hold on, let me log into the game.
Because you used to sit there, you go hunt people the entire KE. That's all you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
I would run out of fucking ants.
exactly. You kill everything you had.
Yep.
Coming
What do I
Man,
have?
billion, and that's low for a player like me. But I spent so much time fighting with in the earlier days with everybody non-garrisoned, and
Right.
I just think there was a long time I didn't rack up the kills. Plus, I never go out of my way for extra kills. Once the
I will
game's
this event. I
over,
want to hit
I'm
200.
done. I don't
Mine's
understand.
actually lower. Mine's actually lower than I thought. I'm only at 147 million.
What I don't understand that I see all the time is people who continue to fight after the event is decided.
Right.
And once it's done, I'm like, okay, I'm taking a break.
I try to
Yeah.
fight on the very last day, just for shits and giggles, just because I mean, if it was a good event, I'll be nice and fight with people on the last day. But that's about it.
See, I'm a little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm one of those people that even if the event's decided, I'm still fighting. Because that's my joy in this game is killing people with my family. So
Yeah, I mean it's a war game, like at the end of the
right,
day, and so even if the war is lost, you can still like it's like practice or just
rack up kills, get up to 64 billion kills, like I'm sitting at right now, or defeats.
nice.
I'm sorry, not kills.
I'm still pushing for 20. Probably 2 more events and I'll hit 20, I think.
Nice.
So I'm
I guess I
happy.
just have a slightly different philosophy. I don't know for that.
I mean,
honestly, I'm with you in things in real life, but in game, it's like I'm here to kill people. Yeah, we lost already, but I'm gonna go beat this motherfucker that just beat us up.
I mean, that's what we did last event. We
One of
built
my
and blocked someone off on a river or whatever where the leaf was, and it took them 4 days to get across just because fuck you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
well,
so that's our philosophy, especially in Island, is if we're gonna lose, we're gonna make sure they remember our name. We're gonna be
Yeah.
the biggest fucking pain in your ass, making sure that you're killing off all your shit every fucking day.
I mean, we were
Nice.
sitting there fighting them, and we passed them in kills. It was like, what was it? I think they were at like 13 billion, and then we caught up like 2 billion in one day just farming them because they couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had
I mean,
that. I think Island before last, we had two allies that they weren't there, they weren't trying, so it was just us, and we had like almost triple everybody else's kills. The problem was we just ran out of stamina, and they still had stamina.
Yeah.
Because it was 3v1.
That's kind of the situation we were in. Just they gave up. I mean, one alliance was trying, but their main people have ran out of ants and meat and stuff. Another alliance just quit.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
I have this
Oh, we-
other game that I'm always looking for more time to play, and this one takes up so much time.
What's that?
Sky,
Never heard of it.
Sky, Children of the Light. It's kind of silly, but it's
Oh,
fun.
yeah, you told us about that last time. Yeah,
I can show you
I
more
remember
screen.
that.
It's a peaceful, silly game, but I like it. I think the graphics are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit juvenile for me in many ways, but it's just fun. And I can get bored real quick in it and then go, okay, I'm done. But yeah,
Go back to
graphics, beautiful.
ants.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried to pick up other games besides the ants. I played that Mushroom, Legend of Mushroom, that for a while. It
Mhm.
died quick. I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
last. And then I posted that video about Jurassic World, which I mean, everybody that's done a secondary game knows it ain't gonna get no views for a while. It ain't gonna do
Right.
nothing. But just keep posting it. You build up a new audience for that game and the ants, you know.
Right. Yeah, I tried doing that too to branch off, and the only reason why I quit that other game because I liked the game. The only reason why I quit the other game is that they like fucking went from 0 to 100 in no time. I mean, it went from okay, you could spend $20 a week and be all right to no, you're going to be spending about fucking 4,000 every 2 days if you want to stay up there. So I was like, yeah,
Shit.
no, we're done with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah,
I also
they're
try to
like
look for a
dropping in.
game. Go
Sorry,
on.
go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say,
Uh,
yeah, they were dropping like a new hero every fucking 4 days or some shit, and you'd have to buy like 9 copies of it to be able to get it maxed out. It's like, yeah, no, we're done with this.
no, but I
Money.
also look for a game that's been around for a while as well. That's
Mhm.
has its, feet in the ground, and that's what I'm doing. It's 10-year anniversary. That's crazy for an app game.
Right. Wait, 10 years?
Yeah, Jurassic World the game is 10-year
Oh,
anniversary.
I thought
I
I thought
think
you meant ants. Sorry.
no, Jurassic World the game. Tomorrow they start their 10-year anniversary kind of celebration.
What's
Oh,
this?
okay.
Do
It's
what?
Jurassic Park, man.
It's
Yeah,
just
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally you just get to keep dinosaurs and then you fight them against each other. You can't ask for much more.
Hey, that's kind I've never
And
seen this one.
yeah, I mean, that's literally just what it is. You get dinosaurs, you feed them, you add them together, you get hybrids. Like the Jurassic World movie had the Indominus hybrid, that big scary one. It's just that you just make, I guess, all these
Yeah.
weird stuff.
Well, and
Yeah,
then you get all the kids that love dinosaurs, so yeah, I could see why it can last a long ass time.
dude, I try to play other game. I have tried to play other games. I don't currently. I get burned out, dude. Like, just it's too much time commitment with all of the stuff you got to do in ants to keep your
Mhm.
account like getting all the dailies and the agama and the frilled lizard and the pango by the time you're done with all that, you want to try. I tried making videos for Beast Lord as well, and I literally just was like burnt to a crisp. I could not
Oh.
play a second game. And it's so much information to hold in your brain. Like 100 different ants, 100 different like dinosaurs and beasts or whatever, like animals. And it's just like, dude, I need to focus on the one thing I know really well, excel at, pump the most money into. It all just makes sense for me to just stick with like the one game. I've tried dipping into others and it always just ends in me being absolutely burned.
Yeah, and you're talking about the saturation, and we've talked about this before, but the oversaturation of events that they have now, I think is not helping the ants overall. I know that they're trying to give like more things for people to do, but especially for like the long-term players like us, that we're just like, man, this is fucking, why am I switching from a Guardian Pango to then have to go and switch to a carrier Agami and then have to do this and then have to do that and then, oh, you got this event on that day. It's like, bro.
Well,
Well, I think
that brings up an
I think
interesting
it's
question
better
for me.
it's better for the pay or the free to play because they can get rewards for just participation, more time spent
But
in game.
what are the rewards like for the Agami? To be honest, like that one, I hit it one time once a week because the rewards are fucking garbage.
Yeah,
I
That's
know,
one of my
but
The
things.
exotic shell is the only good thing.
I hit
So
it with my main troop type, which is carriers, every single time. I don't even switch because you can max points so easily for the
Right.
rewards, but you get one exotic shell every round.
Which that's fine.
Which is
That's why I do the one hit.
yeah, so I mean that's really what I'm there for. I mean a few other mutation flora items is fine, but like I don't
They
bother
don't
with
really do shit.
switching. I don't bother
so
with switching my stuff around or try to like worry about my rank and all that. I'm just like
Right.
get my hits in, get my exotic shell, and I'm cool with it. Same thing with
Well,
like frilled lizard, like you can get an exotic shell from that. Like if I think I'm not positive, but I've noticed a correlation with because there's no ranking rewards, I think they give you the better rewards the higher you rank. Like
As
when
long
I
as you get like a certain amount of damage, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like
it's a damage cap. Once you hit that, I think it's like 70,000 damage or whatever. And if you're hitting 6,500, I think it's 6,556 if I remember right off the top of my head. So you do like 14 hits, you're going to get the max rewards.
right, but if you're with they still uh put you in ranking from like most hits, most points to least
yeah,
points. And when I'm like top 1 through 3, I always get an exotic shell. If I just hit it and like, okay, I got my tier rewards, I'm done, no exotic shell. It could just be
See that?
totally coincidental, but
I think that's coincidental because I'm always number one and I hardly ever get an exotic shell. It's usually the people way lower down in the rankings that get that exotic shell.
so just random chat. And it's only
Mm-hmm.
been like 5 times, so it's kind of a small sample size, but
Right.
um I think yes, the oversaturation of events it's a lot, but for the free to play player that has the time to invest in the game but not the money, it evens the playing field a little bit.
the most
Sure,
annoying
I'll give it that.
event for me is the aphid one. Here they give me
Mm-hmm.
the auto hunt, and then they throw in this thing where now I got to hunt a bug
yeah.
at one at a time, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this, and I just don't.
My only issue with that event, honestly, is it causes a lot of infighting because if you have like an alliance like mine that's worldwide, like they start out the first ones on fucking your pre-gather day, and like you're just like, let's get this done, get everybody pre-gathering, and then the next day is another easy day, but it's like let's get it done so we can get back to gathering, and then you start to have where the Europeans are like, oh, well, we want to do it too, and da, da, da. It's like I understand that, but there's bigger objectives that we're looking at. You will be able to. Like that's a good example of one of the events that just causes infighting. And honestly, regression in your progression in the account because you're too worried about doing the event versus doing what's actually going to benefit you more, which is the SVS.
I
Which is
completely ignore it for the gathering. If it pre-gathering, I'm not going to even do it.
oh yeah, I
I want to do
cannot
my
stand gathering.
pre-gathering. I don't want to do that.
I absolutely hate gathering too. And I'm not trying to go for top score, but I'm sure I'm fucking try to do the damn event. Get my 9 shells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get ninth shell, but fuck pre-gathering.
Nah.
since that update, thank God you don't have to do it anymore. I remember like as a raider, you'd have to like pre-gather the max amount plus gather the whole fucking day to barely squeak by the ninth shell. Now I'm just like, cool, reset, start gathering. Like I nailed it, easy. Love it.
Yeah,
Like I mean, I
I
don't love it, but it's just manageable now.
I still do like the raider, then switch to gathering when I'm on server because there's nothing else going on. So it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and do that, be just fine, get all my shit done before I do that, then I'll do that. And then the next day is the same thing. It's like those 2 days are my rest days. Now I am glad that they switched that in the case of Island because when I'm on Island, I'm like, no, I'm not pre-gathering. I'm not doing any of that
Yeah.
shit. We
Right.
got we got shit to do.
Yep.
Only thing that will really take me away from pre-gathering is like if there's a big fight or something, or if there's like a big lair that people need help with. Other than that, it's kind of, it's kind of for me, I guess. This is
Right.
me personally.
Yeah, on Island, we don't ever have time to pre-gather. I mean, we got the 8 hour
Yeah.
protection time or whatever, but it's like, no, we got shit to do, guys. Sorry.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
I
if there's
totally.
stuff
remember
going on, I don't
that.
really care.
Yeah, I remember that like basically you could win Vast Jungle when it first came out if you just didn't gather. Like
Yeah.
you got such a huge momentum advantage if you
Hmm.
were not the Acorn camp, the Cedar camp, the Blue camp, which it's harder to
Hmm.
win with. If your camp did not gather, but then the red camp gathered, you'd gain a huge like advantage in momentum in winning. And like that's how we won one of the first Vast Jungles. Um but I'm the type of person like I'll put the season event above any shell. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would love to get the ninth shell, but like if there's shit going on, like if there's battles and war, I'm winning the battles. I'm like totally
Right.
putting, SVS to the, you know, back shelf or
Well,
whatever.
and that's
Some people
one
aren't
thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say some people aren't like that, but I feel like I'm maybe in a place where uh people are more of my mindset where they're more like, no, fuck SVS, we're here to win the event, because
Right.
that's really what like I play this game for now. Like I don't play the game to sit around and server, you
Right.
know.
Well,
So
and that's one change that I agree with that was good for them to do to increase the amount of resources in the gathering rate or whatever, so that for the cases like Island, you don't have to fucking pre-gather. You don't have to do that. You got an 8 hour protection window. You can get shells in those 8 hours.
yeah, take down some fortresses, some
Yeah.
towers, you hatch some ants, and you're there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Which I'm very glad about. Like, I am glad that they changed that. Plus, then you have the fertile buff that you get when you're on server during the gathering days and stuff. So no, I'm very glad that they made that change because especially with like my free play players, um, it used to be that fucking they're like, no, we need these 9 shells. I can't come help. I can't come help. And now it's like, I got my 9 shells. We're good. Let's go.
Nice, awesome.
Well, that's really the most important part is just to get the 9 shells first. That's
Hmm.
I mean, for an individual. The only other part is that the team might want to win the SVS, but
Right. Which I mean, of course, every team does want to win. It's just who's more committed to that than the gap, or it used to be who's more committed to actually winning than doing the fucking 9 shells. But now that is one change that I agree with, and I'm glad they did. That now it's a hell of a lot easier,
well, that
and it's
brings
easier
the
for free
question
to play.
of how important is the SVS 2 week win when we have the events being the main thing.
It's not. I honestly, even when we're on server, I don't focus that bullshit at all. I just do me. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Who gives a shit? If you're gold, it doesn't matter anymore. If you're gold, silver, bronze, it don't fucking matter shit.
I
The
think that's
rewards
become
don't change.
That used to be like a selling point for an alliance. Oh, we're gold
Uh-huh.
rank, and that's the only place you'd want to go is a gold rank server. Now it's like, who cares? Doesn't
Right.
make a difference.
Which honestly, I think they should make a change on that. And if they want to bring that back to being of any kind of importance, I think they should make a change on that. So, saying, instead of the, what is it, 1.3 million diamonds that you can get on SVS, no matter what rank you are in, make it to where, okay, well, if you're in bronze, you get a 30%, or I'm sorry, if you're in silver, you get a 30% increase on all daily rewards. If you're in gold, you get a 50% increase. Something like that would bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, have it be
SVS
something.
How about an SVS Purge Day event?
I think that they should have SVS migration events to where the loser gets migrated into the winner's server.
Yeah, like if you're a certain amount of points or whatever, start consolidating servers. I mean, they need to
Mm-hmm.
do it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Really bad
like,
thing.
like we talked about it. Most of these servers that are open, they have 3 or 4 alliances in them. They're packed, absolutely packed to the top, and I mean, they're just nowhere else. People are going there, and then other alliances are just dying off.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 alliances in our server. We don't have room for another one, to be honest. But I would still be. I mean, then you have servers that have like 1 alliance in it, and they're kind of dying off because people don't have the interaction, and they're going through and going, oh, got to do this shit again today. If we had, and I've played games like this to where they had a migration event like that, where it's like, okay, winner absorbs the loser and forced the migration. And it worked out there. I'd be interested to see if it would work out here.
And they can do a lot of things to make people happy. Let them keep their alliance shell. Just move the alliance shell over.
That's what I was about to say. Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, if
no,
I lose my alliance shell, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. They would need to be able to keep their alliance shell, all that shit. But just force the migrations. The other kind of annoying thing that I see a lot, and it bugs some people, is like when you do migrate and there happens to be somebody on the same server that's a dead ass account that has your name, they take away your name.
That's bullshit. I can never use Tom anymore.
Yeah.
I have. You see the little slash through the O? I've had to change my name to that because everywhere I go, Tom's used.
Yep.
Oh no.
I always find
and then,
a way to make my name work.
Yeah, I mean,
I have a unique name that nobody even knows what the fuck meaning is, so it works out for me. I've never had that problem, but I've had so many friends that have that problem.
You should
especially when you have like
explain
a
your
simple
name
name
again.
or something.
What does your name mean? You said I think.
Yeah, so my name is an old Galician word. It's a dead language now, but it means the wise fool or the foolish wise. It was basically a warning to like kids and shit that at time it's kind of like the same concept of a broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay.
That even a wise person can be a fool, and sometimes the foolish can be wise.
And where does it originate from again?
It's a Galician word. It's a dead language.
I just wanted the same name as one of the dual people. I thought it'd be funny.
Dude, I see that a lot. Honestly, that people like mimic the fucking names of like the top people so they don't get hit. Shit, I'm like, fuck all that.
And there's a whole alliance in group 2. They have a robot. They have a Twilight. They have a Woo. They have a Blue Ant. It's ridiculous. Like when I first went there, they the person that's Twilight or whatever, they have their name is Twilight. I always knew Twilight had low defeats, so when they had 8 billion, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I hit them out of curiosity, and I win. I'm like, what the fuck? I just beat Twilight.
Yeah, a simple fix to that with that particular problem is if they just held a database of every name and nobody can duplicate.
Yeah. A lot of people be screwed over on names, though. I guess
Well,
whoever has the oldest would win.
Yeah, you'd have to go by age on it.
most
You'd have
people,
names like Tom 1247. You'd have stuff like that, though.
Right.
I think it's
Which
okay the way it is. I think you just have to work around it with the way like Tom does his name. It's
Yeah,
annoying. Yeah, most people
that's just a
don't
small
realize
annoying thing.
it's from. Most people think I started to get that they had a movie that was Steppenwolf as a vampire, and I'd never even heard of
I
it. And
haven't
other
either.
people would your name. Well, yeah, and that's what some younger people would think it means, and then a lot of people think I'm named after the band Steppenwolf, but I'm named after the book by Herman Hesse.
Hmm.
I was
And
thinking
so that's it.
I was thinking the DC character Steppenwolf.
Well,
That's
right,
my
that's
thought.
it. There's a DC character named Steppenwolf. I had no idea that existed until someone told me.
That's what I always thought it was. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but Steppenwolf, the band, named themselves after the book by Herman Hesse. Herman Hesse is like one of my favorite authors, and I love that book. And so I was looking for a name. The first name I used in the game, I could not come up with a name. I needed a name, and I just named myself Hill 23.
Michael
And
Jordan.
well, 23 for the 23 Enigma. Once again, there's all these double meanings to everything.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And then I started doing themes because our leader in the beginning, SWAT, he liked doing themes. And one day I did I did Snoopy, and it just became so popular with people that I started being Snoopy. When I'm on the server, I'm Snoopy. As soon as we start to get to the war part, I change to Steppenwolf.
Oh, that's cool.
And so
That's
Snoopy is the piece name that's on the server. And then, like right now, we're 3 days from the opening of the tunnel. So I changed my name today. I changed it to Steppenwolf.
Hmm.
I can't, it's
Okay.
like the battle flag, you know?
well, it's like with Group One. There's a lot of people that are like Deadpool, OG Deadpool. When there's like 30 of, well, there used to be 30 of them, and then or there's like Heisenberg. That's a popular one for whatever
Oh yeah,
reason. And then
a lot, especially with the Germans.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
you have all these different like the OG or like there's multiple people with the same names and stuff.
Odin.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the thing I always hated was the Tom and Jerry jokes because it's so unoriginal and boring. But you get used to it because it happens at least once every event. Never fails. Someone has
I
to
just
make the
figured that
comment.
was your name.
No, I wasn't gonna do that. People always think that as well, but
Hmm.
but no, I think it's funny. There's always that one comment every event.
I think the
So
names are
Bug.
very
Oh,
interesting that people have. Yeah, the naming and this Jack, a friend of mine, had this whole lesson plan that he did, and in his lesson plan, he had one day where he would talk about the psychology of the player's hill skin. He had this whole theory of people who played under certain skins had a certain type of personality usually.
wait. So a little bit of backtracking because Bugs is sharing screenshots with the Warzone rewards. Yes, you are right. For personal contribution, if you get one, it is different between the ranks. But I'm talking to be able to make it worth a damn to make it to where it's the actual like 9 shells reward that is the difference. So that because nobody fucking pushes to #1 anymore. It's just so much fucking resources and it's a waste of time. It really is.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, my ADHD was just making me go like, what is the difference from bronze and
Yeah, no, you're
silver?
good.
And so it's
Well,
like it's just like from bronze to silver, it's only an extra 9,000 diamonds every 2 weeks and an
Mm,
extra a lot of credits in the credit store. Basically
right,
nothing in the credit score for bronze, and then you actually can buy some stuff in the store if you're in a gold server. So you can buy some
right.
free ports and whatnot, and you get 800 creature remains. So, but that's every 2 weeks. It's not crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's pretty
it's not
minimal.
worth it to push that far.
Yeah, not yeah. So I would say there's the unrecognized that should be recognized shift in the event is more important than SVS and this gold server. And I think it's important that you're not on a dead server. That's still very important, but like you know the actual gold, silver, like I don't yeah, for 6,000 diamonds I'd rather be on a I'd rather get in where I fit in, have an enjoyable
Right.
experience.
Well, and plus, and you're looking at those contribution rewards that are different, like for rank one, and then how much you have to put into it in each of those tiers of, um, in like gold servers and silver servers, et cetera, et cetera. What you have to put into it does not weigh out the rewards. So
Right, right.
my suggestion was, if they want to bring that back, to where that's even a factor of anybody giving a fuck, increase everybody's rewards, increase it on the 9 shells aspect. So
Yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
everybody won, beat the other server, so your 9 shell, instead of getting like 3,400 creature remains, you get like 5,000 or something. And then the
yeah,
loser gets
but
like
I
2,000.
would go I would go simpler than that. I would go, you're in a gold server, you get the 5,000 creature remains for your 9 shells, whether you win or lose. You're in a
Oh,
silver
okay, there
server,
you go.
you get 4,500. Whatever. You're in a bronze
Uh,
server, you get you know
Yep.
I think they're way too stingy with the gold eggs, and I think that if they gave more out so that the free players could have, I don't think it would really affect what the whales are doing, because they're going to buy more stuff anyway.
See, I actually think different, because like for how long we've been playing and shit, I don't even use my gold eggs. I even the free to plays, we don't use our gold eggs unless it's like, we log in and only have a few minutes to do the colony action, so we just spam a bunch of fucking eggs. Nothing that's in the gold eggs is worth a shit after
Well,
a
but
couple months.
for the early start of the game, I think it
Yeah,
is.
of course, for the early start, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I
that's
mean, I
why I
just
have
hatch them to hatch them. Really, that's about it.
that's
Yeah,
why I have like 800 gold eggs all the time.
yeah.
Oh,
I
dude,
wait. I
I
wait
cannot
until I have
hold on
like
to my
a.
eggs.
I wait until I have like 1,000, and I just go on a hatching spree.
We got someone in my alliance. He's been saving for who knows how long. I think he's at like 4,300 gold eggs at the
Wow, I
moment.
want to see that. That's amazing.
Uh,
Uh, I'll ask for a screenshot
Yeah.
later, but I think he's at 4,300. He's waiting for I think some kind of I think the one for them to update it. They said they were going to update things further. Remember, they said they were going to add new add new ants and stuff, and they still haven't.
right.
But I
They're supposed to
mean,
be adding some of the season one ants
yeah.
that were. Yeah, they were supposed to add those to the pool. Well, I think they did add some of them, didn't they? I think
Well,
Wise Berserker's now in the pool.
they also just straight up said they were going to add new normal ants.
Right.
Just
Yeah, they
and
haven't done that one.
they haven't. That's what he's waiting for.
Right.
Because I mean, he's complete free to play, and he doesn't have any of the pay to win ants, and on top of just general bad luck. Um,
Uh, I never heard him say
yeah,
they were going to make any new regular ants. Like I mean that would be interesting, but
I think that remember when they had that big update event thing.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things that was on there. I have the list somewhere.
huh.
I'm
I
pretty
wonder if they
sure.
just meant like season ant. Did like a new season come out after that or something? Or
Yeah, actually, I think
Mm,
you're right. That was right before Surreal came out. when they were
It
saying that.
might have
And it
been.
could just be the wording and translation. So that's
Well,
a fair
we
point.
all know their wording is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Chinese to
I
English does
probably
not
got a
transfer
video
very well.
No.
because
If
I
I'm
made a YouTube video on it.
on my main hill, if I'm hatching golds, it's usually because I'm trying to get. I need more shells for something I'm putting up. But
Right. Same.
on on my other ones, I don't hatch. I stopped hatching my little farms, my little other hills. On the normal day, you would do it. I do it on the free day because I notice consistently a whole lot more gold eggs are coming up, and those are my hills that need more.
Right.
And I just noticed
Yeah.
that.
I might need to start doing that to where fucking every time I hit that 1,000 that I wait for or whatever, that I start switching my free day over to doing that because I like I said, I don't do I do the spore trick and that sort of shit like on the normal day. So that could actually potentially be a decent idea just to switch that every once in a while because I usually just do a double hatch day, but honestly, I'm getting so fucking fat with T9s that is, I never use. I never use any of my fucking T9s. So I'm like, I use my T9s to troll people like in AE and shit when I can burn them with T9s when they're T10 enhanced.
Right.
I rarely hatch T9s on my main. I don't. I ran out of carriers or T9s and then decided I needed some, so I had to start hatching some.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm a
for
weirdo.
me,
I'm probably going to be the only guy on Earth with a level 11 hermit crab. I'm working on it.
I have one.
And
I have one.
oh, okay. So I plan on hatching. So you can hatch 30% faster the T10s with
Correct.
that.
Correct.
So does that do a pretty substantial
Yeah,
difference in
it drops it down to where it's like I think it's like 8 days per hatch or some shit.
okay.
So yeah,
Otherwise
it
it's
does
like
definitely help.
21 days or something. I don't know.
No. So what you're thinking of is when you're trying to convert T9 evolved to T10 evolved. It really does not help with that. But as far as your hatch time, it drops it from like when you get to 11, it drops it from like a 14 days or some shit like that down to 8.
Okay, I got 11 days, 11 days, 15 hours, basically.
Right. So it'll drop
And
it
so
down to like 8 days.
8 days. Okay, that's still worth it. I feel like.
Yeah. Of
So
course
do
it's
you
worth it. Yeah.
hatch? Do you hatch T10s on hatch day, or do you still hatch T9s because it's more
So
efficient?
personally, what I do is I have my T10s that are hatching all week long. That the first hatch day, I will go ahead and speed up the remaining time on those batches of hatches. I'll restart my Guardian and Carrier T10, but the T9 for the rest of that day, I'll just do T9 until I get 9 shells. Now the next day, I do another soldier hatch, and I'll continue doing T9s until I get to 7 shells, and then I'll just hatch pure T10.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I got to get more T10s, man. Like I just lost a lot fighting in KE on a couple Sundays ago, and it just made me realize like, wow, man, I need to beef up on these and not, even though it's gonna maybe cost me a little bit more, and have a level 11 hermit crab instead of like an awesome insect, but um the benefits I think are gonna pay off. It's just gonna be a little
Mm.
pricey.
Well, how many T10s do you have?
Dude, I
Because
lost like 20 million in power from however many T10s I lost in KE. Let me see how many I have. I have about 700,000 regular and 400,000 enhanced.
Yeah, that's the big difference because I have like 3 million enhanced of each, so it doesn't matter to me. And then I have
Yeah.
several million non-enhanced of each.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I'm like, dude, I need to get those up because
Right.
I'm light.
Yeah, for
But then
you,
when
I
you
can
get
understand the difference.
yeah, when you get to for you, that'd be sick, man. You can have unlimited healing pool this season. Just have like
Yeah.
2 million ants in your healing pool and just keep going.
I have 330 and the power, and I see people with so many ants, and I don't know how they keep. I can't keep them. I'm killing them too much.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
They
I'm a
just
little I'm a little fatter than I would like. I'm a little over 300 mil power, and that's I don't really like to be
Oh,
that fat.
y'all got
But
nothing on me. I'm at 500.
see, that's a
yeah,
I
high.
need to cut some ants.
But I've
yeah, you're
seen
fat.
someone who was at a billion. I've seen a player
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
billion. And I'm thinking, what do you that? And I watched that player. As soon as I saw it, I thought that player's not going to fight one bit in this event. And I was, of course, absolutely right.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's how it works a lot of the
They're an
time.
ant.
I know
They're ant soldier huggers.
it was Jess and Spike for a while. They were at like 1.8 billion power or
Jesus
something, and then
Christ.
they cut way down.
that's
I mean, that's
insane.
Yeah,
what 200
I always
million ants plus.
I always tell people that like come in and shit. Like I do the same. If I see someone that's like above 500 million, I'm like, you're not gonna fight, are you? And it's like, okay, if you want to
That's
be here,
rude.
we got two rules. You're gonna fight, and you're gonna drop some weight.
Yeah,
That's rude.
It's
that
true.
was the rule that I was taught by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
You know,
also when everybody that rule started when everybody thought that events only worked on alliance power. Because I mean that's how AE was, right? That's everyone just
Well,
kind of
no, and that's a common misconception, and actually, that's still going today. So when it comes to what your actual what's the word for it? Selection pool, I guess you could say, of who you're going to get matched up in
it's
Alliance, in AE, and
matchmaking.
yes, matchmaking. Thank you. And in Island, it has several different factors. The biggest factor that there is your Evo and Meteorite, and
Mhm.
Evo, Meteorite, germs, cells, all that shit. That gets pooled together as one factor of the equation, one number of the equation. The next one that comes into effect is how many active members that you have in your alliance. The next factor that comes into that is now, since they've added the whole thing with the stars tree and all that shit, they take that number, so that's added into there. So what they're trying to do is find the strength to be able to match up groups closely together. The next factor that they take in is activity over a base range of time. So they take an 8-hour window of time. Which I think they should change this. They try to match at least one on the opposite spectrum into that time zone to cause issues. So they look at that. Now, the next factor, which is still a factor, is the only factor you can control. It's a very small percent that you can control, is your actual hill size. The power per alliance it's like a 5% addition into the equation, but it's the only factor you can control without stunting your own growth.
Okay, so my question is, why do we get matched against Death last week?
A lot of
Just
that
shitty
could be,
matchmaking,
yeah,
or
shitty matchmaking. They're probably
because
looking
they
at
had
either
three or
time
four
zones
people,
or.
over
Mm,
2,000 attack. We have one person.
yeah,
That's
so that's going to be probably based on the activity and um,
so we're just
the the
they're much
evos and shit.
stronger, but we're the same activity.
So did any of the tricks to lower power ever work?
Say what now?
Did any of the tricks to lower power ever work in the game?
It used to, yes. It was when they started adding more factors into the matchmaking. So, like the original
Right.
island matchmaking was purely based on power. Then they
Okay.
added
Yeah.
after that they added in other factors to
Right.
make the
And then
matchmaking more fair.
people just
Well,
took their germs and cells off, and that affected it, and then they fixed
Yeah, and that
that,
don't
and then
work.
changed
Yeah,
more things. Yeah. And
well,
now
here's
isn't a big part of like cave levels as well?
Cave level, yeah, because you can't
hmm
change it.
Yeah.
yes,
my
which is
next
what I was
question.
just talking about. That they do add that in there.
Good.
My
Yeah.
next question is: I was told, and this goes back to the earlier days, that when they do the matchmaking at during somewhere in the early bit of the matchmaking starting, it's a snapshot taken. So after 24, 48 hours, it no longer mattered. So do they
Yeah,
still just
well,
take a
that
snapshot?
that is correct. When you actually hit into the matchmaking itself, it will automatically pull all of that data. So if you increase from there, it's not going to change your matchmaking that you already have. It's just such a mass amount of data. I mean, matchmaking used to be 7 days, and now it's 4 days. It's just a mass amount of data that they have to compile and then you know mix it out with their algorithm, which I don't entirely agree with, to be able to try to find the
Right.
matchmaking. The biggest thing with the matchmaking that I definitely do not agree with is they, especially like for the 3v3s, like with Baron and shit like that, is they always, for each team, try to make one team that's on the opposite time zone of their allies, which
Mhm.
I think is really dumb. I think that's really
Mhm.
counterproductive. I think that hurts them, but it happens
Yeah.
every damn time.
Okay, I have one other question connected to this going to the old days, because as I was told by Jack, and when I say Jack, this is a friend of mine who was one of the developers. So he said that the way the combat was designed for the soldier ants was that it's one at a time going against each other in a line in the code.
Yeah. So yes, what it is that you have your combat speed, right? So your combat speed directs who gets to go first. But you can think of it like a Magic the Gathering game. This is going to be a terrible example, but it's the best way I can think of to
Okay,
explain it.
I think I
Uh,
understand. Yeah.
so what happens is whoever has the higher combat speed gets the first turn. Then the other side has, in that same round, has the ability to counter. So, and it goes line by line. So for each round that you basically have your front row that goes first, and then you have your second row, then you have your third row, but it alternates to be able to maximize out the
Uh,
damage. But that's all in one round. It's like the Magic the Gathering game where it's like, okay, well, this person has prime positioning, so they go first. Okay, and then this person gets the chance to counter. Okay, now you have the next card that gets to make their move,
right.
et cetera,
That,
et cetera. And then that's the end of one round. Then you draw from the deck, like in Magic the Gathering, which is exactly what happens in the game. You basically get all your slightly damaged ants back. You start the process over again.
that's exactly the way Jack explained it to me. The only thing he said was he said that he wanted to come up with he wanted to see if they could come up with a way to make it more than a single line. And
It
I'm not a
should be.
coder, so I don't understand how they would do that, because I'm not a
I
coder. This is above
I
my.
mean, it's not a bad system that they have now. I see what you're saying, and I mean, you could switch it, but I think that would fundamentally fuck up the ants from what we're all used to. So I don't think that would be necessarily a good idea for them to switch that, because then you would be looking at if each round has 6 moves essentially, right? Because 3 and 3, you would essentially be multiplying the damage output exponentially past anything that they have set that they state.
Well, I'm sure that's why he said he couldn't come up with a way to do it. And
Right.
yeah.
Steph,
Well,
if you look at the chat, I put in there like kind of how it works. One thing I made a video on that I didn't really know until I started making a video on it is that
Oh, this is good.
when one ant or one squad loses all of its troops, it drops out of battle, and the back and the
Correct.
mid move forward to the front and the mid.
Correct.
And
Which then makes it so that in each round you only get 2 hits while they get 3.
yeah. So if you had to somehow like do it another way, I don't know. You just have to pick a way. You know what I mean? And they just pick this way, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very good information. I like that.
You're welcome, man.
another thing is, I don't know if it's just weird statistics, but is there any kind of explanation for like why one day you can absolutely destroy someone and then the very next day you hit them 15 times, you don't win a single time? Or is it just the game being, I guess, the ants or whatever?
Are you talking like in duels?
Yeah, like in duels and stuff.
I get this question a lot, and this usually happens on Gathering Day, right?
Yeah, it happened yesterday.
Yep. So the reason is because you're in Cultivator instead of Raider.
I was still in Raider though. We both were. It did make a difference.
Oh,
Well,
well then
I hit.
that I don't have an answer for.
I mean, most of
sometimes
the
that
time.
happens to me, but you have to look at the battle reports and look for the attack buffs or whatever buffs are different.
Mhm.
But like sometimes people might be doing the Agama and wanting to get like the highest rank because they want the 800 meat that it gives or whatever. And so they take off
My
all their raider buffs for like guardian, and they're a guardian main. They switch their raider buffs to shooter to hit the Agama. So now their guardians aren't strong, and you can smoke them because they don't have all the guardian special ant skill attack buffs that they would have otherwise had on. So it just depends what that person's doing on it, or if they have like if it's in during server times, if they're you don't know, you have to read the report to see if they have a buff for like guard or Aries. So like
I don't think so
those
because we're on event. What would be the point of, changing anything out? I'll share it, but like uh let's see. I hit him 15 times. I beat him in every single stat, but he uses Leaf Devourer, HP, and then White Crystal. I win in every stat, but I had no chance. When most days I win 70% of the time, 60, 70%.
Yeah,
did
I'm
you
not
do
sure
anything
on
with
that
your
unless
insect?
It's just weird. Just the game being weird or what?
I mean, if you're saying that you're both in Raiders, I mean, that would be my explanation, and I see quite a bit. I mean, what Bugs just said it is a possibility, but
Yeah.
I agree with you too that seems implausible. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
So
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
because I'm
your
just
insect could change things up too. Like sometimes if you switch your helper, you switch your buddy, like any little tweak, that you
I
forgot that you
mean,
did. The
I'm using a
mutations.
dead leaf. I'm using a dead leaf with a hornet. He's using a platy with a iron. I think that's the normal. Could I don't know, could just be the game being stupid, or I was thinking what if there's like some kind of weird luck thing added in? That's probably not the answer, but it wouldn't surprise me.
It's got to be
Yeah,
a toggling ability, like a toggle on off switch of some sort, like mutations, like just switching mutations from these ants to these ants because it's Pango Day for this day or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he forgot to put them back on because whatever.
well,
Mm,
I was showing that I beat Pitbull
yeah.
today, and I never beat him, and
yeah,
I was wondering why. I was kind of starting. I hadn't looked at it closely yet, but I was wondering why. How did I beat him today in the duel?
And then I got another one from another spender in my alliance. He has Bison Ant, Hairy Panther, and then Iron Elephant. and I just won 4 times in a row when I very rarely win. So I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think it's so much of a luck thing. I mean, we've over the years we've disproved this on fucking a lot of different shit. Like even with like the egg hatches and shit. It's got to be something either they changed or like the biggest one that I always usually find is Raider versus Cultivator buff, or the reforms didn't switch out because they were doing Pangolin the day before or whatever. It's always usually something that was changed that
I mean,
that
I'll
they just
test
missed.
tomorrow.
Yeah, they
If I
didn't
win
change
every
it.
single time tomorrow, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's kind of cool because I was thinking about it because like you said, it kind of gives everyone a chance to have a win over somebody, some within a reason. Like
Yeah.
yesterday I beat someone with 2,000 attack, 1,800 defense, and like 750 health. I shouldn't be doing that, but I got lucky, I guess.
So it'd be
Or got
skill
a good.
activation. Did you look at the difference in
Let me
skill
see.
activation?
Let's see if I still have it or not. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so he's okay. He had more attack. He had 2,200 attack. I was wrong. Um, he's using Red Velvet, Jewel Amp, SSA with a level 77 Ghost Mantis. Red
Okay, but
Velvet
what was
got
the
11. Red Velvet got 11 skills, and then Jewel didn't do anything. It only got 10 off. It kind of stayed lowish, and then Sahara Silver got 19.
Yeah, that's crazy activation on a Star and Silver. What the hell? 19?
Yeah,
That
and
makes sense.
then
Especially,
and then
well, with using a gladiator mantis.
for Helper, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. 'Cause that's
Uh,
going
And
to
then
double the
for
attack every time. Not every
my
time,
March, Bicolor got 14 skills off. Harry Panther got 15, and Leaf Devourer got 20, like normal. And then I won by 110,000 ants.
mm-hmm.
So I just getting lucky, I guess. Or just
Yeah, I
good.
mean, I might chalk that one up to be a skill activation difference.
Yeah, because he has 400% more attack, the same
Yeah.
defense, 30% more like special and attack, about 100% less health. He's one of those. It's a shooter main that's pure attack. But
Right.
Yeah, I'm
I just
looking
think
at this for
I think it's
Pitbull, and
fun.
I'm not seeing why I beat him. So I'd have to look at it more. I shouldn't have beat him.
But I got other crazy ones. It's I think Drop Bear. He's a big one that I did. I don't have. Yeah, here we go. All right, 2,400 attack and 860 health for shooters, and I won that. I don't know how. Oh, that's why Jewel Ant only got 7. He got hit pretty hard, but then he's using Lathy still instead of a SSA or something else.
Right.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have
Game's
any.
weird.
I mean, I would have to see the reports to fucking.
I'll send it over in a sec. Yeah, I'll send it over after this. Game's weird. That's the only explanation.
Well, that makes me think of another little oddity I had noticed that I wondered about. Normally, when you see the percent by which you not beating or it, yeah, I see like 30, 20%, 60, I see all this range, and when it's full power. But when I'm using or going up against somebody that's massively more powerful than my hill, or when I have everything dropped down, I always see it at like 5%. I see, it's less percent.
Right.
Now, why is that? Why is it that it ends up showing it as less percent than
Because if you're going up against somebody stronger, you're not doing as much damage.
Okay, so I'm just thinking of that reverse then. Never mind.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't. So I guess I misunderstood that number. So it's going in reverse of what I was. So what you're telling me is it's going in reverse of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going up against somebody that's massively stronger, they probably have more combat speed than you, so they're probably hidden first. They have more stats than you, so they're fucking you up faster. It's not lasting as many rounds. You're not able to counter with as much damage. So yes, of course, there'll be a smaller percentage.
Okay. I just had that. I thought it was going different. Unless I knew that, it's not something I look at so close that I really stop to understand. There's so much in the game to know.
Well, and like
There's too
Bart
much
said, we got to
stuff.
keep this all. Yeah, we got to keep this shit all up in our head, and yeah. I mean, I kind of have. Yeah, I mean, I kind of have the benefit because, like, what I did for work for 18 years, kind of fucking. When it comes to math, I'm good at keeping that shit in my head. But yeah, no, there's a lot to it. I mean, that's why we have YouTube channels to explain shit.
I was
I had
never
YouTube
very good
channels
at
to do
math.
Pango.
I was never very good at math, and that's one of the reasons I like playing the game, because I feel like looking at the math helps me improve my math. So it's just something that's not my nature. The one math I'm good at is fractional math, because it's so heavily used in photography.
Right.
So I'm much better at looking at fractional thinking than algebraic equations or anything like that.
So yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way. I went through calculus and trigonometry and shit. Hold on, let me finish typing this message. Yeah, no, I went through calculus and trigonometry and all that shit in high school. But I was never. I mean, I can do like paper math, but I'm the same as you. Like I need to have a context with it. So like, with my job that I did in the Marines, it was distance over time plus the curvature of the Earth. You have the culinary effect. I mean, there's so much they have to add into it, but it was natural to me because it's like, okay, this is going to sound really bad for people that are anti-war or whatever, but it's like I have to kill this person. How do I do it? So in that way, math was easy for me to figure it out. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even when I was in school, I always tried to put a real life application to it, to where, okay, this is the issue. How do I get to it? It's the same thing, like even with the ants of, how we don't see what skills activate and then they give us the percentages and everything else like that. I'm always trying to figure out, okay, if X, Y, and Z happens, that means that this skill activated at this round with X amount of damage. And it's the same thing.
Right. Well, that makes me think of a sniper, a shooting question or thought, which would be, I would think that just because you're naturally good at shooting a weapon wouldn't
That doesn't mean
necessarily
you'll be a sniper.
be
No.
good at learning the higher level skills.
So here's the thing. You could be naturally good at shooting. I was naturally good at shooting, but there's so much more into it. You have to have kind of a mathematical brain for that, because when you start to get over a distance where your bullet loses its velocity, or you're on the wrong side of the fucking hemisphere. So I mean, you got to change out the boring of your rifle. I mean, there's so many things that do go into that when you start. I was a sniper. When you start going into that field, there's a lot of math, because then you got to figure, okay, so you have your weight of your projectile, you have the velocity that you're going at, you have a distance factor you have to look at, you got a wind factor that you got to look at, because that will direct based on whatever the density of that bullet is and the velocity it's going, and when it starts dropping off velocity, how it's going to change that. Then you have the Colonaris effect, you have the Bolaris effect, you have all these different things that you have to factor in to be able to make a shot that's beyond what the velocity projectile and weight is capable of doing naturally.
Right. So
And
I'm
I love
correct.
that
I'm
movie, The
correct when
Sniper, with what's his name, shooting at something from 2 miles away. It's badass.
Chris Kyle. I knew Chris Kyle.
So
Oh
when
yeah,
did
Yes. I
very
I didn't know him. I didn't know him on a personal level. Like we didn't hang out as buddies, but yeah, I deployed with him. I did one deployment with him. So yeah, I knew him a little bit.
So
cool.
at what? Here's another question. Sorry, here's another question I have on this. So at what point in history did the technical area of sniping shooting overweigh the natural side of it? When did we get to the technology? Vietnam. Okay.
Oh yeah, Vietnam. You got the what was his fucking name? Ghost Stalker or White Stalker or some shit like that. Was a Vietnam sniper that was fucking us up at ranges that were not possible. And so yeah, we shifted drastically.
Okay. That's interesting. Things I like to know.
That makes me
Yeah,
think of Forrest Gump. I love that movie.
Forrest, run,
For
Forrest.
my name's
Run,
Forrest
run.
Gump.
Oh, I had one. Oh God, they were so fucking petty. I think it was Last Island. We had an alliance that got offended because I said "Run, Forrest, run." Because when I showed up, they all fucking ditched out and stopped trying to fight us, and they got so offended with that. I'm like, really?
Huh?
Take a fucking joke.
Seriously, it's a joke.
I
Relax.
do love that
Why
though,
were they
when people
offended
start
by it?
leaving when you're fighting.
Because we were fucking them up, and anytime that I showed up, they no longer wanted to fight
Because
because
he was
they knew
rubbing it in a little bit, and they got feelings about it.
I wasn't even rubbing it in. I had a few drinks and I was playing around, and they're like, "That's so offensive." I'm like, "Really? It's a fucking movie reference. Like, shut the fuck up."
I was
Yeah.
trying to make a deal today with the leader of an alliance who's twice in the events. I've just shut them down. They've stopped playing because of me, and
Yeah.
and they look a little more powerful than they were the last time I saw them. But yeah, 2 times I caused them just to stop playing,
Yeah, it happens.
and
But
it's not my goal necessarily. I guess sometimes.
Sometimes it's your goal to get him to stop
Yeah.
playing.
Well, it
I
is. It is. But yeah, it is.
I
But yeah.
I have the opposite side effects too sometimes because I've been doing the YouTube for many years, so it's like I have the opposite side of the effect too, where everybody wants to get that report against me or whatever.
Yep.
So I've
Yeah.
had times that allies will not help us because I'm a YouTuber and they want to see a fail. So
What?
it goes both ways. Yes, I have. It's fucking stupid, but yes, I've seen it both ways.
Well, that was my last event. Event before this last one. We got matched with an alliance that we had the one before that, and they were just toxic. They were just mean. They were really rubbing in the wind, and a lot of people left their alliance because of that. Because that's not what
Yeah.
they want to be a part of. So the next event, we get matched on the same team, and then it's sitting there like, huh? Now you're the small alliance. You're not going to sit there and talk any shit. You're going to act like we're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed quiet the entire event, didn't say a single thing, didn't cause any problems, just like, okay, I'm sorry.
See, and that's why we actually have a rule in Ash that if you're having problems, you stay the fuck out of season chat.
Yeah,
We will
I
handle it.
completely agree.
If you have
Oh, I
nothing
completely
good to
agree.
say, stay the fuck out of season chat.
It's just a
What?
nasty. It's just, I don't know. It's a nasty place. Always has been, I guess.
Right.
Seriously, yeah. Just like stay out of it. It's like kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
I used to use my farms as characters just to overtake the chat and shut it down.
I've
What would you
used
say? What
farms
would you?
to
How
like.
would you
Well, what
shut
I
it down?
did was I usually used 2 characters. I had Howard Cosell, which is a famous sports announcer, and then I had Uncle Fester. and I would have them talk and overtake it and just say crazy stuff. You know, it would be weird. The sports, of course, Howard Cosell would always come on and say, "This is Howard Cosell, sportscaster extraordinaire," and then he would go into this whole litany of different things about either what was going on. I'd usually say, I'd say a line like, "I've just come from playing a round of golf with Paul Pop, John Lennon, and somebody else," and I just say this ridiculous stuff, and and then Uncle Fester will come on and say, a typical Uncle Fester, have no fear, Uncle Fester is here, and they'd talk about blowing things up, and I just would overtake it, and they would go away.
Yeah, I always took a different approach. So I have a habit of any conversation with like allies or enemies in each island, I screenshot everything. So that way, when they start getting their butt beat or whatever, and they start crying and they say, "Oh, well, you said this," and it's like, no, actually, on this date, you said this, I said this, you said this, and now here we are. And I'm very blunt in nature. When I'm talking, you can get like the inflection of my voice a lot better. But when I'm writing, I am so fucking blunt, and a lot of people don't like that, especially when they get fucking proven wrong. They're like, "Oh, you're just trying to come after us." It's like, no, I'm playing the motherfucking game. What you're saying is absolutely false.
No, yeah, you seem. I guess if you're not used to it, you seem very, I guess, kind of mean unless you understand how you speak and how you work.
Right.
And I think that kind of,
No,
I guess that kind of
it's
pisses
true.
people off.
It's true. I know it.
People used to always think I was angry and mad when I was just playing the game, war game. Especially
We're old, dude. That's how we were taught to speak. We're old.
I guess so. Yeah.
I have this problem even with the French now. Like fucking. So yeah, we had an instance the other day where one of my players, he was drinking. One of my original Ash players, he was drinking. He said something that was not okay. I immediately fucking cut him off. Said, "Okay, you gotta stop." And then the French player came on and fucking said something. I was like, "Okay, you gotta stop too." And then I'm hearing on the back end of, because that same player that had said something had made a comment to me about like, "Oh, all you and your dogs, I'm better than all your dogs." And so they were like, "Oh, he was drinking that day." I was like, "Okay, fine." And then they're making a big deal about this. And it's like, "Wait, he was drinking." "Oh, well, that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse." Like, that's kind of the excuse you just used. So
Yep.
it's not acceptable on both parts.
We've had people like that to just, they start drinking and they just start saying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to happen in the game. And I've been too stoned to play a few times. I didn't belong there. But yeah, that's happened.
Have you ever been like drunk shopping on the game? That's the worst.
Oh,
You
dude,
wake
yeah.
the next day, you're like, "Fuck, how much did I spend?
Why is there
well,
$2,000 out of my bank account?"
Actually, when I started playing when I was in Colorado, and one of my worst overspending moments was while I was tripping on mushrooms.
Understandable.
The next day, I'm like, "What did I do? No, don't do that." But I do remember something that really made some Chinese very mad at me once, and I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Maybe you
go there. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on, let's do it.
All right. We were fighting a team, Chinese team. They were spending an enormous amount of money. It was obvious. And I said to them, "So you're spending a lot of money. I'm curious, what happened to your communism?" And they got so mad.
Oh shit.
Oh man, they got. And I was just, I didn't mean it wrong. I'm wondering, what's going on here,
Oh fuck, I love it.
That's
I
funny.
love it.
That's it. That's interesting. They took offense to it.
They did. They
you
were
think they'd
really
be like,
offended.
you think they'd be like, yeah, we don't have that shit anymore. I'm a baller now, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. I would have thought they said, hey, I got your Walmart money or something. That's what I would have said.
Yeah, everything in your house is made by me, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
Asian
not
culture
true in my
Asian culture has a lot of weird. I'm married to an Asian, so I get it a lot because there's some things I'm like, babe, why is that fucking me up? So they have a lot of fucking odd quirks like that just set them over the edge. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's honestly every culture. French have some, Germans have. Oh God, do not mention World War II, the Germans.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a
Oh
given.
yes, that's like I think of faulty towers when you say that. Somebody named faulty towers. That there was
Yeah,
a scene in there that was don't talk, don't mention something. What did he say? Don't mention the war to the Germans. Yeah, it was in a skit. Monty Python, John Cleese did
right.
faulty towers. Yeah.
And that's nothing against them. I mean, I love everybody, and like I'm married to an Asian. Fucking, it's just a difference in culture, I guess, with some things.
Yeah,
Can the
for
Germans
sure.
get over that? Is that something they can ever get over?
Well, I mean, my gal's gotten a lot better about some of the things. I mean, she's been a U.S. citizen for, golly, she's been a U.S. citizen for 38 years now. Um, so I mean, it's just it's a mindset thing of,
Yeah,
okay, not so much of a big deal over here, or it comes with culture, I guess you could say.
yeah, I can
Um,
see, but it's certainly now nobody playing the game today. I would think, there's nobody playing the game who's connected to it, and it's nothing to do with them. They're long generations past that.
what you mean?
The war.
Oh
We're
yeah,
way past that. It's the only place where it's connected is parents and grand. It would be a parent, grandparent, great grandparent.
yeah. It's a culture aspect, honestly. I mean, there's no other way to really describe that. It's just the way that cultures are raised up. I mean, you can look at the Middle East with their undying hatred for the Jews and shit. But when you sit down and
Yeah.
talk to them, you're like, why do you actually hate them? And they're like, I don't know. It's just how it always been.
What
It's
you've
like,
been
okay,
taught.
well,
That's all you know.
it's like, okay, well, think about it. Why? Do you have an actual reason why you have this issue?
Well,
And most of the time, it's no, I don't.
the one place I could relate to that is I am my family's from the South or Texas, South Carolina, and the Confederacy. My great
Hmm.
grandfather was in Lee's army, fought with a Gatling gun, was a Gatling gun operator. I have this
Right.
huge history of Confederate ancestry, but and my great grandfather Albert Evans would have owned at least 400 plus slaves, but that's not me, and
Right.
I don't feel, I was never racist growing up. I was very much against it. My mother, that family side of the family, they could be very racist. I didn't like it. So it's not me. So I have a hard time. I don't have any white guilt over this. It's not me. I
Right.
don't perpetuate it.
Well,
Yeah.
we got into this a little bit before we started recording, but yeah, no, that's absolutely it. The issue is that everybody's hanging on to the past and not looking for a way forward. And so
Yeah.
they're bringing up all, yeah, I mean, we have terrible history in the United States. Yes, absolutely. We had the whole slave thing. We had the Emancipation Proclamation. Yes, we did terrible things in that time.
And worse,
However,
what we
like,
did to the native culture.
yeah, but like you said, that is not us today. We moved forward. People need to drop all that other bullshit and fucking look at what we have today.
Right.
I
I
mean,
agree.
even in recent history, yes, we had fucking terrible times with that, with like the Rodney King riots and all that shit. But that is not us today. We are a generation past that. We could stop all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward, not backwards. I'm looking forward to things like the lava scorpion.
Exactly. Like, yeah, lava scorpion.
I wonder how they're gonna do that.
Say that again. What? The what?
The new carrier insect that's going to be
The
coming
game's
out. It's an insect, right? Or is it an ant? I forget.
yeah, no, it's an insect. They said they're gonna come out. Excuse me, they're coming out with a medal for it if you own the striped love, the ghost mantis, and the lava scorpion, which is not out yet. So hopefully it's gonna come out Monday or into the
Right.
following Monday.
And
I don't know, but I'm
what is the
praying
lava
for Monday.
scorpion going to be for?
It's going to be a carrier synergy.
Oh, now I have to open my wallet up again.
Yep.
If you want to win.
Yes.
I
I just wonder what they're gonna make it look like. I mean, are they
Oh,
just gonna go?
I have an idea I can show you. So I found
Was it
that
that like render that like where it looked like it's actually on fire or something? Was it that one? Or
No,
yeah, I think it's gonna
the lava scorpion is based out of Central America. It's a real insect.
no, there
okay,
is no lava scorpion.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
there's a toy lava scorpion, but then there's this company called Deviant Art that had a rendering for something else, and they also had like some pictures of ghost mantises and stuff on their page. So I was like, I wonder if they're working with this Deviant Art company to. Of course, I have no clue. I don't have any insider information or anything, but um, I just found it odd that they had both like Ghost Mantis stuff and then this lava scorpion on that same website. You know?
well, here's like a thing. There's no most of the time there's like a creature that has that nickname of ghost mantis, whatever. There's no
Right.
like direct, but it's not like I don't know, there's like a species that they call that. It's like it's just a ugly little scorpion. It's nothing special. Just a little brown scorpion. It looks like that one you sent, just take away the red.
So have you ever seen a coral snake?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the real lava scorpion looks like a coral snake in his tails and his claws.
Wait,
So
there is a real lava scorpion. That's a real thing.
yeah, well, it's a nickname for it, but yeah, it's a scorpion. I don't know
Oh,
what the scientific name is, but yeah, down in Central America, they call it the lava scorpion. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
like
looks like a coral snake.
its body's
But
black and its legs are like a off red kind of orangey,
yeah,
weird
so
looking.
yeah, the pinchers are orange, and then it has like a coral snake looking tail
Yeah.
or stinger.
okay. So it looks like the
I
toy
thought they were gonna
version.
go off the deep
Yeah,
end.
it looks like the toy version, but no, it is an actual thing. I don't know what the scientific name is,
I thought
or
they
anything like
finally
that.
went off the deep end with this.
I mean, they've gone off the deep end with a few things. Some of the ants that we have are not actually ants. I did whole
Yeah,
series
there's
about this.
spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them
Okay.
are spiders. Yeah,
It's called
Yeah.
Centralodes limbatus or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just called a brown scorpion, slender brown scorpion.
right. But it has
But it's
the
not as cool.
markings. Yeah, it has the markings that make it look when they're an adult male or adult female or whatever the fuck. They have the nickname the lava scorpion, and I guess they're whether their piercing or their stinger is their venom is not fatal, it'll sure in the fuck make you wish you were dead.
That sounds
Ouch.
nasty.
Right.
Ouch. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to find
it's
an image. I hate it when I never can find the image I want when I'm looking.
just look up slender brown scorpion. It should be the first thing that shows up.
If you Google lava scorpion Central America, it'll come up with that
Yeah, it's the same
scientific
thing.
name.
That's kind of I don't know. They're going away from the It's cool. It's okay looking.
I mean,
I don't know.
honestly, I like the direction they're going back to, because for the longest time, like we said, fucking, they release an ant that's not actually an ant. It's a fucking
They released
spider,
a
or
bunch.
it's something else. But now they're like actually going back towards real ants and real insects. So I
Yeah,
like that.
because what?
Like the fucking Godzilla. Like, what the fuck is that shit?
I know, right? I refuse to buy
Or
that.
it was what?
I have it, but
That
Well,
carrier
if I was,
ant, the Thyla thing. That's a beetle. We figured that
yeah,
out.
yep,
Dark
the
Hercules. That's a spider. Brown Rogue
yep.
is a spider.
Yeah, I
Bunch
did
of
a whole
Shikari,
things like
series
that.
on this.
the Shikari Master is a wheel bug from Illinois.
Is it? It looks kind of
Yeah,
like a spider.
No, it's a wheel bug. I did a whole series on this where I broke down
Yep.
every fucking ant and whether they're real or not.
I'm happy they're
I
going
thought,
back, and I like
yeah,
that they need to stick on the track of carriers or scorpions, shooters are a mantis,
Mm-hmm.
and guards are a beetle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And I
right.
think they
That
will.
what that last one that came out, the newest carrier, that's just a beetle, Thalamastus bicolor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
then
flamboyant bicolor.
yeah.
The Rainbow
Yeah.
Pride.
No,
Yeah,
that's rainbow scorpion there. That's a little
let's
pride
have
bug.
let's make carriers sound really badass by giving them an ant called Rainbow Wings and Bicolor. Like,
Well,
thanks,
I wasn't
thanks a
gonna
lot,
say
guys.
anything.
I'll go fight my ghost mantis buddy now.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but yeah, you guys win. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Or
it's
honeypot ant. I like honeypot.
yeah. Well, and
honeypot. Yeah,
the rainbow wing is not even a fucking ant or
That's a
beetle. It's a fucking
wasp.
grasshopper.
Oh, it's a
No, it's a
grasshopper.
grasshopper. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
that would explain why I can dodge so well.
Let's see what else we got. I know Golden Venom is a spider. Yeah, that was. Or
Yeah.
is it like an ant-like spider? It's
No,
one of
yeah,
those.
it's
No,
an
it's a
ant
mysterious
mimicking
ant
spider.
spider. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ant mimicking spider.
Uh,
A lot of them are ant mimicking spiders.
Black cancer is like that too, right? It mimics an
Yes,
ant, but it really eats the ant that it looks like.
yes.
yep. Have y'all seen the
You guys got to check out my old videos I did on this, because I went deep diving
Yeah,
into all this shit.
Yeah, I've seen them. I liked it. It was just it's weird that they keep doing that. Have y'all seen
Right.
Ruby Slender when it gets its face upgrade thing? How stupid it looks.
Yes. Yes.
It's so bad.
I like some of those. I like some of the
Like
colors.
Jet Black looks awesome.
Yeah.
I like Jet Black.
I don't know. I'm kind of in the opposite direction on that. I don't like the visual upgrades they did to where, like, some of the ants are like, okay, what the fuck is this? You know, like,
oh, like the meteorite Evo.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Golden Venom just got pom poms. That's cute.
Dude, it looks like he's got a nutsack hanging from his chin.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, dude, what are you doing to the poor guy?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
now
scared
that
to see this next. They're gonna have to do a new buildings soon enough. Or probably they're gonna continue another 4 meteorites. That's
please,
my guess.
no more new buildings.
No,
I need, but like
I've
stats.
been suggesting this for years, because for a while, when I was still working with the official, they were having the idea of increasing the buildings to level 30, but I mean, the amount of resources was fucking ridiculous. But my suggestion, which I've still been pushing for fucking years, is none of us really have a resource problem, but we all have a can't do building problem.
Yeah.
What about adding stars to the resource building? Make it so that each star increases, payload by production by 20%. We all don't really need the resources. but that's a way for
Yeah,
everybody to have.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I'm pushing that for years, but because it's me, they're never probably going to do it.
I just want a new stat building of some kind. I think we need it. It's getting very slow for everything at this point.
I don't think we need a new stat building. I really think
Dude,
we need building.
many-
We need building.
So many stats. Oh my god. You can invest in so many things now, like meteorite, treasure,
There's
mutation
but we're all
flora.
so far into it that nothing really. I guess it's kind of a perspective because if you look back on screenshots of stats, your stats go up a lot, but it feels like it's nothing.
Right.
Well,
but
that's because everyone's
where
goes
I'm
up at
saying.
the same time.
Yeah.
That's where I'm saying so you don't have a huge code breaking. I'm thinking like a coder. Sorry. So you don't have a big code changing thing where it doesn't actually change the outcome of players' ability to play and wanting to play, et cetera, yet to be able to help with those like us that have no buildings on building day. We have no problem with resources. Nobody cares about those buildings. Start adding stars to them. Go to 8 stars.
We've been collecting speed ups for how long? I mean,
yeah.
I
Oh
looked
my
at it
god,
yesterday.
I could build
I
something
think,
for like 90 years.
I think I have 500,000 5-minute speed ups, or I'm getting close to it.
Well, I use them on islands for enhancement, but regardless, no, I still have more building speeds than I'll ever fucking use.
Yeah.
But
I think that
I don't
was
know.
maybe their
Bugs,
answer.
you're part of stage. Maybe you can fucking push this shit. Add stars for the resource buildings. Easy fix.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah.
Good idea.
They don't
Just to
like
the
any of
resource
us, so
buildings.
Yes.
you're our last chance.
That way there isn't a stat change, so nobody has to fucking be upset about that or anything like that. You don't have to increase the overall levels. Just it gives something for people to do on building days. And there's so many fucking resource nodes. You probably got a year's worth of starring up out of those.
So like give me an example of one of the buildings that you'd put a star on.
So for example, like your I don't know what the actual name is, but like where you collect the leaves from, right? So it does X amount of production right now, right? So then you do a star level, which resets it down to level 1 star. It keeps the production of what it was when it was 25, but you put it back up to 25, it increases the overall production by, let's say 5%. Keep it fair or whatever. You say that there's a 25 increase or a 25% increase in how much resources it used to be for 1 through 25.
I got you.
So that
Okay, so
way,
you're talking about all the little nodes within your hill where they are pulling the resources, the little like woodhouse colonies, the plant flora.
yes,
So just why not on everything?
because then you get into stat changing, and that changes perspective on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're
not
to add a pay to win aspect. I want to see if people.
No, fuck you. No, fuck you.
I want to see
No
if
pay to
people
win
spend to
aspect.
get 5% more.
I do have one specific thing to say on free play, the hardcore free player, and I understand this. I understand the problem people have with the disparity between whales and people who can't spend money on the game, but the people who kind of this is stuff I hate to say sometimes because I know I'm going to upset people, but the company needs to make money. We need, I certainly support. We need players. I mean, I support people who don't spend anything on the game because we need players. But we spend those, people who spend money on the game are part of the reason why the game still is in existence. If
Right.
everybody wanted to be a free player, there would be no Ant game.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's not the argument that we have so much shit
Right.
that we can spend into right now.
It's
This adds a
over.
free to play aspect.
Yeah, but I've come across complete free players who absolutely hate me, especially a certain team I'm not going to name, but we got into a lot of argument and they really didn't like me. And I've run across this a few times, and my attitude was, look, if you buy a few packs every once in a while, at least you're not an Ant freeloader to me, because if you spend nothing and you're going to complain about it, then you've contributed nothing to the financial aspect of keeping the game going. You didn't pay for it. It's free to download. Nothing. You're playing for complete free. So you should enjoy the game. And yes, I would like to help those players. I do. I want to help those players too. But I don't like it when people complain about it.
Just hating you because you spend money.
To clarify for the listeners, what he's saying is essentially you have no room to talk if you're free to play about how somebody else is playing their game, and you really have no room to complain when you're not contributing to the actual progression of the game, which I agree with. There's a lot of haters out there, and I get it all the time too. I get it, and yeah, no, I agree with that. But that again, that goes back to a mental behavior pattern that we have in society of just everybody wants a participation reward.
But I'm going to also add to that. Even though I say that, I still want free players, total free players, just because the game needs more players.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
well,
I mean, my alliance is mostly free to play. We only have a few whales and then a dozen dolphins or whatever. The rest are all free to play. Yes, we absolutely have to have that.
People just hating people because they spend more. I think that's ridiculous. Just play your game. I don't understand the point of. I mean, you can share a crazy report of someone with 4,000 attack and say, "Holy shit, how were you there?" But don't sit there and hate the person because they spend that much. I think that's
right.
Now, I do think that to give more.
It's actually. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I spend $1,000 and I get a free $100 pack. But
it's 2,000. 2,000. It's 2,000.
Well, they lowered it in one situation, I guess, but I don't know. But yeah, it was 2,000. It's been that, but I think they lowered it. Anyway, I spend a lot of money. I get that pack, but they should be giving some smaller packs away more often to players who spend a little bit less. I think
agree. That'd be nice.
They're too limited in how many freebies they give to players at different levels. So they only give go ahead.
I would push back on that a little bit because, like we were discussing before, we're on camera. Like the Brown Rogue is, now a 99-cent pack for the newer servers. My thing would be, okay, if you're doing that for the newer servers, do that for all the servers. It needs to be a fair balance.
Absolutely. But how do we make it more fair? What's the fairest way to make things better for those players who are free to play or very low spending players?
I don't think there is a way, honestly, because I'm sorry, but if you're free to play, I built my whole channel to help free to play. So I get where you're coming from. Like I do want to help them, but at the same time, I'm sorry, but if you're not spending into your account, of course you're not going to be stronger. It's not going to be fair. There's always going to be a money factor that's just not fair.
That's back to the fair factor.
Right. Now I would say that to be fair and to be able to have us on the same level within all the servers, something like the Brown Rogue pack that we talked about, that needs to be available to all, because like the group 1, group 2, if they don't have Brown Rogue, they have to pay like through the fucking fragment packs or whatever. What is it, like $50-$60, whatever? to get that same ant that they're getting for 99 cents. That's not fair. That needs to change.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, I love free to play players, and I love helping people out in the game, regardless of like how much you spend or don't spend. But like,
Right.
the game is funded ultimately by the mega whales. They pay for
Yeah.
the whole. They pay 99%. Like 1% of the players makes the 99% of the profit for the game. So
Yep.
like,
that really the breakdown? Am I really contributing that much to the game?
Well, that's hypothetical,
no,
but
no,
Hypothetically,
just hypothetical, just like rough number, like the whales, the mega whales make the games run. Like the mid spenders and everything, like that helps out. But like I know, I think Da said he spent like somewhere around 400 plus thousand on his account. You
I don't
know,
even want to mention what I spent.
Blue Ant spent something like 300,000, 400,000. So like, you know, people
I'm
people
scared to
dropping
know how
that kind of.
I spent on my game.
I'm sorry.
I'm a bit scared to know how much I spent on my game.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately,
Sometimes
I
I don't
know
even
how
want to
much
think
I've.
about
Yeah, I know how much I've spent, and that's a large reason why I don't spend much anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even want to mention that.
Well, I had my justification for this from my life, and it's personal to me, not anybody else. Before I played the game, the kind of things I was doing would be building race cars to drag race, just hot rods in general. And I've spent over 100 grand on a motor and gone out and blown it.
Mhm.
Ouch.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And so, you know, at least I'm 63, and I decided one day that I just don't have the reflexes I used to have. This is dangerous. And I really changed my mind. I mean, I think the thing that affected me the most and made me feel like I'm not, I changed. And this is kind of about the time I started spending and didn't think about building a new vehicle or getting anything new. Was one of our players. It's gonna be a little emotional for me. One of our players on my original team. This is a great guy. Helped everybody. One of the smartest little ant. I'd call him one of the ant whisperers. And he was a CEO for a coding company. And one day he's showing us a picture of his McLaren, and then he's gone. And I'm one of the few people who knows that he killed himself in the car.
Oh shit!
And so, I mean, I remember, you've probably, if you've played this game long enough, you've seen this happen where someone dies, and we circled around his hill and had our little memorial and everything. And
Yeah,
it still chokes me up, because I was just starting to get to know him, and now I don't get to know him. So it's sad. It's a lost soldier in the game.
and that's one of the aspects that keeps me playing in this game. To be honest, is that family aspect because we've lost players and we've done the same thing. Our latest one, she was a great friend of mine. She was older. She was dying, but she was a sweetheart. She was everybody's grandma. I mean, everybody's grandma. Everybody loved the shit out of her, and she passed away unfortunately. But I mean, we do the same thing when somebody passes away. We hold a memorial and everything, but that's part of what keeps me playing this game. It's not even so much. I mean, the game's fun. I'm not going to deny that it's not, but the biggest aspect that keeps me playing and spending and stuff is I want to help my family. I want to be there
Yeah.
for my aunt family, and so that's a big part of it for me. And you kind of touched on it too with like how much is spent in everything else. It's like I mean, frankly, to me, that shouldn't be anybody's business, and nobody should be angry about what you do with your personal finances and what you do
Right.
to be able to have fun with what you do in your pastime. I might be quote unquote a mega whale or whatever, but I'm really not because I spend what I want when I want. It's my pastime. It's my decision. Same thing with anybody else, and nobody else should have a say in that.
Yeah, I don't consider myself truly a mega whale because there's accounts out there like Blue Ant account, something like that. That's above me. But,
Yeah, that's above me too.
but I don't, I remember we once sat down and made a whole classification, which is the term the dolphin and the whale came from. And
Right.
yeah, so I always said I'm an orca.
That's what people were
I
saying
like
in
that.
live chat. That's what a baby whale is, or like a mini whale. I was like, I think I'm like a mini whale or something. And they go,
Well,
you're
I
an
was
orca.
meaning more as I'm a killer whale.
Yeah,
Well,
I like
you
the
know,
orca. I'll be an orca.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
an orca. But um, I know that this is a little more of the emotion of the game. Is as to many people I know that are older than I have. Most of my friends are older than me, and I have quite a few friends who absolutely don't understand the game. And what I don't understand about them is we're all loners, and we all most of these people that are friends of mine, they don't have a lot of friends. My friend who hates him the most, he doesn't have a whole lot of friends right now other than me. And it's because a lot of our friends died or we went different directions, all sorts of different reasons. And we are naturally kind of happy by ourselves. But I want to socialize. And so since I don't like to go out and meet new people in my real life very much because of the drama, I've had so much drama.
Right.
I don't want any more of that. That I love the people I meet in the game, and I really do. And I predominantly want to keep it in the game. I have people's phone numbers that I do talk to. So yeah, there are closer friends. You can become closer with people. But and if I knew I was dying and I'm sick in the hospital, I'm probably going to go, give me my game and let me play my game. Just let me play my game until I can't. Because if I have
Right. But I
nothing else
mean,
to do, I want to play the game.
that comes with the social part of it, to where, and I agree with you. I'm a lot of the same way. I don't have many in life friends. I like the fact that I have a whole family that I have an on off switch.
Mhm.
If I
I
want my
just
alone time, I have my alone time. If I want to socialize, I have that. It's an on
I,
off switch.
I have two players that are my lead. They're kind of seconds in command for building. I delegate my authority. So these two
Mhm.
players are Moon Bear and Bird Food are the two players that do most of the non-combat building. They're the ones who organize that for me.
Mhm.
And they always did this, but I tapped them and said, "You're going to do this." I change that when I get to combat. When we get into the clash, I start taking more control, but or giving it to someone who I think is more attuned to the combat. But the other day I learned that the player Bird Food has the same birthday as I do, and that's kind of neat.
Mhm.
I come across these things. Someone's also May 27th. Well, that's nice, and you
Right.
get camaraderies, and this is what being able to get on Discord, the and all this gives us is it gives us a connection with people we would never get to know. And on top of, like, for us, we're all English speakers, but all of us meet people from all over the world. I sometimes say peace through wargaming, world peace through
Mhm.
war.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take it into the game and let's get to know each other. And if we want to take aggression out, let our aggression out in this game, not in the
Yeah,
real
dude.
world.
Like, I talk to
Right.
people from Russia, Brazil, Italy, like regularly, Canada, like regular, like just hey, what's up type stuff, like on
Yeah.
Discord. And yeah, of course we talk game stuff too, but I find that those connections are pretty cool as well. Even if we're not in the same alliance anymore, we still have that bond,
Right.
that
You
friendship.
you build a family worldwide. You really do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's great. I like it. No, I
I
Yeah,
love
love
it.
so
the
I
family
agree.
aspect of it all. It's great. I mean, it's the only reason I play. That's literally it. But I don't know. It depends on the group you're with, huh? I guess how close you get with people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I mean,
You have
some
to make
alliances
a
don't open
decision.
themselves up. Other ones do.
Right. Right. Well, and a
All
lot
right.
of times the alliances that don't, you start crossing into over time. I mean, they
Mhm.
could be the biggest alliances, but over time they start breaking down. The
They
alliances that
eventually
have that
will because they
family
don't
bond,
have that heart, you know.
right?
I
The
did.
alliance,
I don't notice that with. I usually don't notice that in the super, like TAW. I didn't see it in that team.
right?
Unless the Chinese were just communicating more by themselves somewhere else. I just didn't see it. You know, I will say they talked more than most. They were the. I would say I'd go back and play with them again. They were one of the friendliest groups of predominantly Chinese players I've ever played with. So there's
Right.
my hat. You know, there's me tipping my hat to them. They're nice. They're good. I enjoyed it. But there, you know, but that's culture. You know, yeah, that comes down to cultures too. Sometimes it's just,
Right.
you know, and yeah, they may, you
Well,
know, yeah.
and I'm not talking about specifically TAW or whatever, but a lot of times what you see with like the bigger in this game or any other game, like the bigger alliances that do not have that family connection, or they have like a clique that they stick with, they're
Mm-hmm.
rotating players in left and right. Whereas some alliances like Ash, and I'm assuming how you guys are, or some of you guys are too, um, that that we get players, they see the family and they're like, no, this is my home, like
Mhm.
this is where I want to stay, and that's what we love is that connection of, yes, we are a family, we care about you, talk to us, we're here for you, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's like, okay, the switch is flipped, it's go time, let's go beat some ass. Okay, we're done there. How's it going? You all right? you know I personally, I love that kind of gameplay, and that's what I want. Um, and I have it, and that's why I'll never leave Ash. I created this fucking 3 years ago, or whatever, however long it's been since the beginning of the game. I created this. I've made it sure it always stays like that, always family until it's go time. Then it's war general. I will tell you off if you're fucking up, but we have always had that bond, and for me that's more important than anything else.
I'm not in love with being R5. I've wanted to have this opportunity for a long time, and I have it, so I can shape
Well,
what I
I
want to do.
keep I keep trying to give R5 away, the bastards
But
won't let me.
yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like when I want to give this one away, because I will come to that point. What I have a problem with is I have played from the R4 perspective for so long. And I'll tell anyone this, I will come play with you, but when I'm on an event and I can't see the chat and when I don't know what's going on, it affects my gameplay.
Hmm.
And it's not about, this is what I can do it. It doesn't have anything to do with an ego that I have to be R4. There was one exception where I thought that's what they were asking me to come do, and it turned out, and different misunderstanding, and that happens. But I just simply find, I don't know why, it's like some blind spot I have on an event when I can't see that, when I'm cut out of the R4 talk.
All right, well, when you come and visit Ash, I don't know if you'll make it up to R4 because we vote everybody in, but that's also a difference in ways alliances are run. Like some alliances keep everything really tight chested and everything. So, like in Ash, what we do is we'll give the information as to what's going on without the drama.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah.
yeah. So we'll give the information of what's going on. They don't need to see all the fucking drama because that will wear people out, just like it's worn me the fuck out. You know.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
got to check this out. There's someone did an analysis on the ants in chat. There's like this image. I'll send the link too, but like they analyzed into like comparison to other similar games, and the social competing aspect against others, social
Far
working with
outweighs.
others are very high. They're like 4 out of 5.
Right.
So if you're socially inept, this is not the game for you.
that's funny because I always thought I was socially inept.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
makes sense.
we've been on fucking. You're not socially inept. We've been on this goddamn. Well, we before Bugs got here, we've been on here for almost 4 hours. We're now going on 2.5 hours in this podcast being recorded,
Oh
which
damn.
we
Don't
do.
talk too
Yeah,
much. No.
we do got to wrap up things because my phone will fucking blow up trying to upload this video. But
Bug, you've
No,
really
but
given some interesting stuff here. I like this. That's a
dude,
great
I
little-
love this shit, dude. I love connecting with y'all and just sitting down and having a conversation. That's the way it should be.
Oh, here's a funny
yeah, I
one.
mean,
Say my my colloquial slang rubbed off on one of my Japanese players that make stuff in English, and I often try to change this, but sometimes I don't when I do talk to text, and it's gonna versus going to. And
Mhm.
I saw my Japanese, I saw Bird Food, I think it was Bird Food, yeah, made a comment, made a message and said, gonna, and I had to go, I went DM'd and said, hey, just so you know, that's you're picking up my bad English here, so you got
Right.
to slang for going to,
I mean,
That's
it's
just a
gonna,
southern thing.
fitna, about to.
Yeah.
It's all the.
I'm Southern. I could get real. I
you,
have to
Yeah.
hear it first, but I can
you
put
could
on.
be fixing to get you some ant game on.
I I can put on a really good Southern accent, but
I
I
mean,
have to hear it. I'm a mockingbird with language, and I can mimic something, but I have to start hearing it. And the farther I get away from hearing it, I can't.
Same
And I
here.
know, yeah. And I remember at my dad's funeral, I had he was a Masonic Lodge member. And so I had the North Side Fort Worth Masonic Lodge come do the Masonic service. And I had my friend from Michigan with me. And as they were doing it, he leaned to me and said, do you understand what they're saying? Because they were thick. It was a thick Southern cowboy accent. And I said, yes, I do. But yes, this is definitely one of the thickest variants of Southern accents there is. So it's
Yeah,
kind of,
I lost my southern accent, but when I'm upset, it pops right the fuck back out. But I still have some of the things like y'all gonna shit like that. I'm never gonna lose that.
I think it's easier for me to go into a Georgia, more of a Charleston, South Carolina. I do declare. And this is kind of a mismatch. This is kind of a matchup of several, but yeah, like I say, I have to hear it. And this used to happen to me. I've traveled 39, 40 states, and I learned that if I was in a really rural town and I got out to talk, and I needed to talk to people, instantly, as soon as I would just wait till I heard voices. As soon as I heard the voices, and I could turn on my rural accent, and it made them more comfortable. And then, so I would I'd go in, get something to drink, something to eat, get gas, to have this rural sounding Southern accent conversation. And then I'd get back in my car and I'd be in New York the next stop. And I'd get out, get to the hotel, and it'd be suddenly, yes, it's my name. I'm room. It's going into this trying to be as perfect in my accent and my speak correctly, because I do remember my mother was very concerned that we would all sound like Hicks, and she said, "No, we want you to sound educated." There's one.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of hick.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, my dad wouldn't have a problem with that. He'd say, "Yeah, I'd rather be with the Hicks than with the social." That's the difference between my dad and my mom.
All right, guys. Should we?
Can people see the chat that's going on in here, or
I will be taking that and inputting it in the various parts of this. Won't be uploaded until tomorrow because I'm going to have a lot of editing because we added a lot into the actual chat. But I'll be taking that and putting it into the podcast so people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think this is one of yours that needs a little editing. Probably we've gone very long.
Yes.
How long have we?
2.5 hours, and that's what I was about to say. If we want to wrap it up, my headset's fucking dying, and I got to be somewhere in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's about time, but it's been a great
about
time.
that time.
No, it's been great.
So, last little closing. Y'all want to say something? Bugs, I'm going to be giving you a shout out. Tom, of course, I'm going to be giving you a shout out as well. For me, it's fucking been amazing talking to y'all. I know we talked to Steppen and Tom before. Bugs, this is our first time, but man, it's been fucking brilliant. I hope you come back for another one.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, man. I had an awesome time. I'm gonna start creating a deck of dance cards now.
All right. Get the dance card. It's been great. It's been a great conversation. I've enjoyed it.
It's been awesome. We'll do it again soon. I don't know about next weekend, but we'll probably set up one for weekend after. See if we can get maybe another guest on. If you guys got time, we'll do another. We'll keep this shit going because I love this shit. I love talking to y'all. I love being able to promote other YouTubers. I love just fucking meeting people, and it's good for people to see who's behind the screen.
I friend I'd like to talk into doing this. His name is, he goes by Rules. You know the Rules. Maybe we can get him to come on sometime.
Shit, talk to him. Bring him on. Let's go.
Well, he's listening to him. He listened to the last one.
Yeah, shit, bring him on.
That'd be great.
Shout out to you dude. It's an open door here. Come on, let's have some fun. let's talk for fucking half the goddamn day.
I wanted to try to get Mohit joined.
I can pass the word along to a buddy of Rules.
Oh, you know Rules. Oh, cool.
No, I don't know Rules, but I know a buddy of his who's an author, and we did a podcast just like a few days ago. And he was saying how, like, you know, he stopped playing the game for a little while, but still kept in touch with Rules. Just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? For like the year-long break that he took from the game. And I go, oh, I know you know the Rules. Like him and I are always, we're always fucking with each other in duels. And so, anyways,
everybody's welcome here. I mean, shit. If they're willing to, fucking bring them on. They're willing to waste their entire half of their weekend or whatever to come on. Shit, more the merrier. Let's do it. I like meeting new people. I like talking to people.
Yeah, this is a great idea you've had to do it this way. And as I say it again, we're going to turn this into you being the Joe Rogan of the Ant Kingdom.
That probably won't happen, man. But like I mean, my biggest goal at it is to bring more connection to people. It's not about the screen name. Get to know people as people. That's what I want.
Well,
I think that's a big thing.
You know that, but you should
that's a big thing that I want to start get running on the gaming corner and everything is actually, you know, having multiple people posting. I mean, we have Bug, Agne, and myself posting, but I mean, if we can get more and have everybody in one place, I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I need a link
You know,
to your show. What's your show called, Bug?
Oh, I just put it in the chat. I just have YouTube. It's
Okay.
at Bug Gaming _official.
Okay.
hey, before we close this out, actually, I meant to do this in the early part of this. Bug, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why you got into fucking YouTubing and shit.
So early on, like I was helping people, and I was like, dude, how do I help people like from a different state or what? Like my whole alliance is asking me because I was like one of the bigger spenders. And so I was like, I'm gonna try this Twitch thing so I can like share my screen with them to show them like how to do things. And like I was like, yeah, so this is what you do, this is what you want to build, and this is like da 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 da. And like my whole, like not my whole, but like half my alliance would tune in because they were like, yeah, Bug's gonna show us how to like do this thing about this thing. And I just found it to be like super rewarding to help people. I'm actually a recovered alcoholic, and I've helped other guys stop drinking,
Okay.
and that's sort of how I gained my love for helping other people, like seeing the joy that it brings to them. And then plus two, like when other people have helped me in the game, I, oh man, so stoked when I first learned the feeding ground hack, you know. And so I just wanted to bring that joy to other people and help others. So I just nerd out on helping other people. And so that's why I'm always like trying to come up with a video like free healing speed ups, like gamble to win and underground maze cheat sheets, stuff like that to make people's lives easier in the game, to have to like maybe think a little bit less or just like know how to approach something, because like we were saying earlier, there's a million things to know about this game. And yeah, I just got into it because I like helping people.
Me and Tom were a lot of the same way. Like for me, I started the YouTube just to help my alliance. Like I had no idea it'd ever blow up like it did, and
Yeah.
it did. I mean, but my intention's always been just to help people, and Tom's was too.
I just love teaching. That's my
Yeah,
passion in life is teaching, doing what I can for people. And just, to an extent as well, just try and make your own little pocket in the community. That's nice. I
right.
guess. I mean, I
I
haven't been posting a lot. I know that. That's just personal things. Just not having really having the time, but I still help out as much as I can, doing what I can on the Discord. Got Bug in touch with Umbras, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
as soon as Mohit fucking put me on the bug, I'm like, oh no, we gotta do a fucking podcast. Let's promote this motherfucker. Just the
yep,
same as I do, just the same as I do with you, Tom. Like as soon as you started, I was like, nah,
we
we're
need to
getting
get
on
Mohit on
podcast.
there.
I
yeah,
actually
man.
His
when
spoken English is really bad.
Oh, I know. I talked to him about it. He said he was a little self conscious, but we'll work on it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'd love to get him on here too because he's a damn fucking good dude. He really is.
He's great.
on that teaching thing for me, when SWAT, my first leader, asked me, was to tell me he was going to teach me, he made me promise that what he taught me that I would go pass on and teach other people.
Good.
Yep.
And so
That's
I
perfect.
carry on that. Plus, I was going to be a history teacher until I learned that they wouldn't let me really teach history correctly. So
See, we need more. We need more of that in life, man. We need good people that are just there to try to fucking help others, and that's
That's
my
what I
big
hope. That's
like.
what this does.
Yeah, dude. I get shit from time to time. Like I have people to help me manage like my Discord and shit, and they're always like, "Oh, why are you promoting other YouTubers?" It's like because that's not the point. The point is we're trying to help people. Of
Yep.
course, I'm going to promote them. They're trying to do exactly what I'm trying
This
to do. They're
is.
not here trying to make
It's
money or
already
anything else
such a
like that.
small community. Why shut it
Right,
off even more?
right. So
You
anytime
know.
that a new YouTuber comes out, like Bugs or like you did, Tom, fucking hey, I'm gonna promote your ass. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get you on here. We're gonna talk. Everybody's gonna see who you are as a person, And fuck, let's do it.
If I get a YouTube
completely
channel
agree.
going, I'm not going to do it just about ants. So that's the only difference with me. I have other
That's
subjects.
fine. I'll help you out too.
plan on doing it. Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, it doesn't. It's a gaming corner. That's what the
Oh,
Discord is.
I have a Discord too, and one of the unique things I put on my Discord channel was a dating channel. So
Yes,
like,
I saw that.
so like, there's people who have gotten married and had kids from meeting through this game. So I was like,
That's I've
that's
seen that a few times.
that's
I
pretty.
Actually, funny thing with my wife, I knew her before Ants. We played another game together. We re-met in Ants, and
No,
yeah, we've been together ever since, bro.
That's cool.
see, that's
That's
why I was
awesome.
like, dude, too many people meet in Ants that there's not like a dating like place where single people can like talk to other single people that play Ants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
Like, because
they
Yeah,
try
like
to do that on
with
the
my gal, I knew her fucking 20 years. I did not know she had a crush on me until I got divorced. We were playing this game, and then we got together. She's like, "Yeah, I've had a crush on you for like fucking 20 years."
wow,
And I'm like,
That's
"Well, let's make this happen."
lucky, lucky me.
yay. Yeah. No, it's a great community. I just want to see everyone grow and do their own thing. Like, I mean, even with a Steppenwolf, post whatever you want. I mean, that's the thing that
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be the ants. It can be the ants, be everything else, whatever comes to mind. Like, I've been wanting to
In
start
these
doing console
podcasts,
gaming of
we
some
go
way. I
off
need
the
to figure out
fucking
how to do it.
yeah. Well, even these podcasts, we go off the fucking rails. We start talking fucking everything from UFOs to
yeah.
And I think that helps.
I still have my very first gaming machine, which is a Pong unit I bought from Tandy Company, which would be Radio Shack, but before it was Radio Shack, and I bought it from Mr. Tandy himself when I was 11 years old,
Mm.
and I still have that thing. I need to hook it up.
Well,
Does it require
no, I'd like to.
a steam engine train?
You gotta turn a crank to get it running. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs a cathode ray X-ray TV.
No, but
Nah,
I think
man.
these
But
podcasts add humanity because a lot of the videos of the ants is a very straightforward presenting information, and then that's it. That's all you really
Yeah,
know about a person.
yeah.
So now they can see how weird we are.
Yeah.
Hey, we're weird like everybody else, man. And see, and that's part of the reason why I started doing this. It is because there's a lot of bad rep around me. I get that. It's because of the way I type, everything else. There's some bad rep about me, whatever. There's also fucking brilliant people out there that like you guys, Steppen and Bugs and Tom. That yeah, you're right. You see a very minute part of their personality and their humanity when you get a 15-minute talk with them or a 15-minute video or whatever, to where we're just trying to help people, we're trying to get the information out, then we're moving on.
right.
So that's why I really wanted to start doing this, because I want people to see people for who they actually are versus what is behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what when I started, I tried to do is I don't know, impart some humanity to it at the same time as passing the information that I wanted to put forward. That was
Right.
my main goal, which I think I did a good on at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see. When I first got hooked up with you, like that was one of the first things, and you were actually kind of weary at first because you got this other fucking YouTuber coming at you, being like, "No, come on, let's have a chat. Let's promote you."
Well,
And you're
yeah,
like,
a little
"I
bit.
don't know."
I just didn't expect the hospitality from the community, I guess. That's my first thing I'd seen a lot of the ants community was very shut off, very closed. It's been like that since the start, if in a lot of aspects.
You mean the
That's why
Discord?
that's why I avoid official, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
Bro,
part of the
that's
we
reason.
gotta get this thing live like Umbrus used to do, where people can chat with us and shit in
yeah,
like the
Yeah.
side chat bar
that's
and
the
stuff.
next
Like,
thing.
I miss
Well,
that,
shit.
dude. That was so fun.
We can do that, but what we need to do is I need to find some other recording bot because fucking going
Yeah.
live with this recording bot would blow my phone to fucking pieces because it records each voice and then it compacts it. So
Well,
even with each person joining, it's going to record that and then fucking just obliterate. So if we could find another
Well,
bot with this, I'd love to go live.
well,
I mean, that'd be
yeah,
great.
Bug, you did it
find
on
some
your
other
computer. You
gear.
streamed, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna say one
Yeah.
thing. One of my two criticisms of the official Discord. One of them is just simply it's run by the corporation, and corporations are corporations, and they have all this sensitivity, and that you can't get away from. I think that's part of it with them. They're just that's the way it is, and that's any corporation. But the other thing is when I was doing the trial, I was being asked to over fluff these this trying to do a test of giving the information of what I knew, and I was just like, and I see that in what they do that it's almost like an overfluff of information. I don't know if that's coming across. Does
No,
that
I
make
get it. Well, Bugs is part of that, so I don't want to get him in trouble. But
Yeah.
my biggest critique is they have the set rules from the company, which is fine. But the problem is that the ANTS official itself is a click. It's ran by players that are not having any monetary benefit from the actual company. It's a click. And so what you have is you start having the click mentality to where shit gets shut down. It becomes a problem. Kind of like what happened with me because I'm too fucking outspoken and I don't give a fuck. Um, I would like to see it be more open like we're doing on this podcast to where everybody gets the fucking voice, everybody gets to speak their mind, and we'll try to make things work. But unfortunately, it's not like that. But again, I don't want to go too much into the official because Bugs is still part of the official. I don't want
yeah?
him getting in
I
trouble because he's fucking talking to me.
Yeah.
well, I in no way. I mean, I still want to be connected somewhat to the official, but that's personal to me. I'm only saying the things that are my observations that I had
Right.
from doing that. I in no way am trying to overall trash. I don't have the same feelings you do, but then I'm not you. I wasn't in your situation. I just decided it wasn't really for me. It wasn't going to be
Yeah.
the best. I was really
Well,
afraid to have a problem.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was afraid I was going to have a conflict. I was afraid that I felt a certain tension that didn't feel comfortable to me because of that maybe cliquish nature and just
Right.
personality. It was just and I do not. One of my rules is I don't want to. I am a hot-headed redhead, and I don't want to let that out ever. Really.
And I'm hot headed too, and I know that. My thing is I'm here to help promote people that want to help people, and that's my whole goal. I'm not looking to try to dog on anybody ever, and that's not what I will ever have here. So for the last thing to do with any of the official or anything, that's why we gave alternatives. We have Umbrus's Discord, we have Bugs Discord, we got Tom's Discord, we got my Discord. We gave alternatives to where,
Mm.
however which way you're feeling, you don't have to do that. Find where you're comfortable, where you can go and get your information, where you can have fun. I'm not shitting on the official. Obviously, I have my own feelings about them with what happened with me and whatever, but that's all the past. I don't care. Moving
Yeah.
forward, it's great to have people like Bugs and you, Steppen, and Tom on here. That we're just here fucking chewing the shit.
Right.
it's great.
All right.
Yeah, and kudos to anybody who listened this fucking long.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you made it to the end.
You'd actually be surprised. The podcast videos actually get more views than my informational
Yeah.
videos.
That one got 6,000. That first one went crazy.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Wow.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's fucking
They
crazy.
do
Well,
well.
people want to know people, man.
I mean, just us talk. That's the great part. My headphone died twice already, so
Yeah,
I've had to
we
switch
do
them
got to
out.
wrap this up.
I had to plug
We-
in my iPad.
Yep.
Yeah,
We-
this is
we
totally
do-
this is totally a French goodbye right here.
Yeah, we do got to close it out. We're fucking over. We're almost at 3 hours. We're 2
I got
minutes away from
basketball
3
to
hours.
watch. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
I bid you
I
adieu.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Good talking with you
Of
guys.
course.
Good
And
talk, y'all.
Yeah, man.
we'll get that. We need to get that live streaming figured out. We can try and get everyone on, see what we can do.
Yeah, let's work together and figure out what we could do about getting like a bot to record and fucking get it figured out. And I'm down for fucking bi-weekly live streams or whatever.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right.